Guys, welcome to the Free for All podcast, your source for all things geek. Show 3.
Show three.
That's not how it goes. Trey started in Facebook.
Hey, the Cobra Clutch is number 56.
There you go.
Fuck you, Sergeant Slaughter.
That's fair. I'm your host, Evan Swafford. With me, as always, Trey Elliott.
Yo.
That a boy. Josh Barnett.
Yeah.
Chuck Nally.
Mandible Claw, 58.
/ Mr. Sacco.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how low did they go on this? They do all 100?
Probably 100.
I don't know, but it's breaking my computer.
Yeah, Ranker's not the best site in the world.
It sucks.
Also,
There are so
Ranker
many
is
cookies.
100% just fan voted. It's just like
God.
they put a bunch of
Yeah.
names out there and it's just
And
upvotes
it's
and
bullshit.
downvotes.
It's like a Saturday night at Trey's house. Just too many cookies to move.
And fan voted.
Yes.
Trey's life is fan voted.
Samoa's number 1.
I wish you had just Twitch streamed
Yes,
everything. there.
Samoa's.
They're the best.
The best Girl Scout cookie.
100%.
I disagree, but I enjoy them quite a bit.
My God, I love them.
They're
I
gross.
can't order them because
What'd
I
you
would
say?
literally finish the
They're
box in one
gross.
sitting every time.
I don't.
Oh,
think
you don't
they're
like
gross at all.
coconut.
No, you don't like
Correct.
coconut.
Because it's gross.
I like Thin Mints.
I can't.
I like
get behind
Tagalongs.
them. Tagalongs are good.
Mm,
That's the peanut butter one,
yeah, I
right?
know.
What's the shortbread
it.
one?
Shortbread.
Is that just what it's called?
I don't know.
Okay. I like those too.
Short round.
Girl Scout.
God,
Girl Scouts don't come to my
You
house.
would eat short rounds?
Papa Jones.
I would eat
Ah!
Indiana Jones themed cookies.
They would be called short rounds.
Drop him
right?
down, I kill you.
The strawberry filled one would be the kalima.
Kalima shook today.
Mum shabai.
Wait, Trey can't get all these references in one sitting.
That is fair. Man,
Oh,
correct.
Willie.
That is,
Willie.
Man, I feel for you. I
Didn't
like
she
want to
marry
be there for
Spielberg
that.
after that movie?
She did.
Kate Capshaw, right?
Yeah.
Like, Indiana Jones is important.
I will say this about Temple of Doom. It is responsible for my favorite GIF of all time.
It's also the first PG-13 movie.
I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
But have you ever seen the GIF of him where he's like talking to Willie like through the hole in the wall with the bugs and everything, and he's like, Willie,
We are going to
are
die.
going-" and he has that little sad face at the end. It's fucking delightful.
It's incredible.
It's the best. It's the best Harrison Ford. I get that Han Solo's more popular, and I like.
Oh,
Han
he's
Solo.
better. He is better as Indiana Jones, in my opinion.
Man, there was a
Jack
LucasArts like click, like a click adventure with Indiana Jones is really good.
Really?
Was that the? Oh my God, I know what it's called too.
Indiana Jones.
And the something of something.
Yeah,
Click
move on.
Adventure.
I'm never gonna remember. I'm
That,
never gonna remember.
that Fireball Island game that I sent you
Yeah.
guys, that one of the expansions is all Indiana Jones themed. There's a giant boulder.
That's actually pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Man, that game is a lot of fun.
I'm
But I don't know
considering
how much of
purchasing
that's
it.
nostalgia though. Like, I don't know how
A
it
lot
holds
of
up.
it.
Well, the fact that they've updated it means it'll probably
Be way more complicated.
not
Take about
necessarily.
5 hours to learn.
No, I don't think it's gonna be anything like
About
that.
30 hours to master.
The Fate of Atlantis.
Thank you.
It is a thing I think in a few years you would have fun playing with Layton. Like I am considering getting it because I think Lane would fucking adore that game.
I mean, that's Lane is the age of when I played
Yeah.
Fireball Island every time I went to Bryce's house. That's just
There
what
was some
we
good-
did.
Yeah, I don't think. Good.
No. That's
I was just gonna say I don't think it would be as fun with just like us sitting around. Maybe once or twice because of
The
nostalgia.
nostalgia would hit, but
God,
yeah.
if there were the keys to the kingdom. Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
but that was great.
Anyway, there was some good. There was a good Indiana Jones game on the original Xbox. What was that? PS2, early PS2.
Yeah, the staff of something.
Really.
think so. It was
Oh,
good. It was
yeah.
a third-person adventure.
This
yeah, I
was
remember that
my
game.
dead period during games when I was like legit
It
poor.
legit was like that was
The
when I
Staff
was
of
working at.
Kings or something.
Yeah.
like that?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it was like when I was
Holy
working
shit.
at Blockbuster and Best Buy. Like it was popular.
You're correct. Well, no. We all shut up.
Yeah, you know what? Good job, man. Even if
Hell
it's
yeah.
not right,
Let's
good
take
job.
a moment.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
What happened?
He
He
remembered the
remembered-
staff
I
of
remembered that.
Kings.
Trey remembered that.
Oh yeah.
I gave him staff.
You just gave him staff and herp.
It happened.
Little column A, little simplex B. You know.
Herpios.
Oh, that was pretty clever.
Thank you.
Well, we've watched a
Surprising.
lot of shit, so let's start
We have.
talking
Holy
about
fuck.
that.
Let's do this.
I split
Wait,
this
earlier you were talking about whiskey and Jameson, right? You were a big fan of Jameson. I have a pitcher on my fantasy baseball staff named Jameson Talion. I thought that was a good correlation. And
Do you know
something that we
why
can-
I started
I-
drinking Jameson?
fantasy
I believe
baseball?
it's Chuck in fantasy baseball.
Well, that's why I drink so much Jameson. The first time I tried Jameson is after watching The Wire.
Okay,
I still
that's a
have never
show
seen
I
it,
still
man.
want to watch.
Here's
So
what I
bad.
propose for this summer. We all, and I know summer's not as easy as it used to be.
Fantasy
Are you gonna
baseball
cut-
redraft
you gonna
league.
cut into my Fargo time?
I think we all should take a break
As always.
of between two shows and watch one show that we've always wanted to watch. Not even the whole thing, just watch a season and see what it does for you.
Okay, I'm totally down
Like
for that.
yours should totally be The Wire.
It totally should be.
I don't know what mine would be.
Mine would be, I think, Battlestar Galactica.
I
That's
think.
tough.
Mine might be Billions.
Yeah, billions.
You know what yours should be?
What's that?
Spartacus.
Okay, I'll do it for you, Boone.
And me. I love Spartacus.
Nah,
you
fuck
love
you.
Spartacus.
Great, yes.
Take that,
Yeah,
billions.
But first for Boone. Boone has claim on that.
Yeah, because you let me the DVD
I don't know what
season
I don't know what
one.
to tell you to watch.
I legit don't
5
know
years
what I would
ago.
watch. I would need input
still
on
have
what
it?
is the show.
Yeah, it's
I
about
would-
DVD
That's
collection.
Something I've always told you to watch. I'll think on that.
Yeah, let me know because I can't think of one that like I.
If there's
absolutely
something
feel like I must
better
watch.
better than Battlestar for me, let me
I
know.
will think, but Battlestar I think is a good choice, though. I know some people don't love the end.
I don't like
How about-
anything about it.
I
How much
really
of Fringe
enjoyed
did
it.
you watch?
I have a lot of good memories.
I've never
of that
watched
show, though.
Fringe.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Fringe is a really good one.
Fringe is a really good one.
Oh my
you
God.
you need to get past the fact that the first season
Josh watch
is
Colony.
not serialized. But man, if you get hooked on the first season, the final 4 seasons of that are fantastic.
Breaking Bad. It might be time. I know you were
What,
kind
for
of
me? I've seen the first 2 seasons.
the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I've
Mhm.
seen the first 2
Then
seasons.
season
as
3.
well.
Then season 3 is where it gets super good.
That's
I
what
think
I
it should
heard.
be
I was
something
like,
fresh and new though.
because it used
Like
to be
something
it used to be
completely new for
Supernatural, and then I watched the first season. Everybody's like, and I was like, I didn't really like that. And everybody's like, well, the first season's not what you should watch. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody. Dang, what the fuck would it be for me?
Doctor Who.
No, I've tried.
Medicine Woman.
I think that's something we should do though.
I think it's a
I'm
cool
good
In
with
a
that.
2-week period, I think we can all watch a season of one show.
Can I pretend
Yeah.
like I've never seen Chuck?
No,
Hello.
no.
I wish.
Yeah, yours should
What about
totally be
this?
The Wire.
I'm okay with that. I really want to watch that
Where'd
show.
he go? I can't see him.
Although I think its expectations are too high for you at this
Probably,
point.
but
It is a slow ass show, actually.
Which I
Ooh, what about
usually enjoy.
Oz or Boardwalk Empire?
Oz is awesome.
We tried Boardwalk Empire.
I
did.
finished that season.
Did you?
I did. It's good, but
Yeah.
not amazing.
I've never seen The Sopranos.
Oh,
that is a great show.
it still should be Spartacus, but if we ever do this again, it might be Sopranos.
I've seen
Let's do it every
parts of
summer.
I watched like the first half of the first season of The Sopranos, and I was enjoying it. I just never finished it.
It's not for you.
Yeah, it's really
Altered
not.
Carbon, Josh.
Fuck you.
Heaven is the most. I'm sorry.
Did you
I
finish?
should. No.
You had 2 episodes.
You fuck!
God, no. We're moving on. We're moving on. You killed it.
I'm gonna be thinking about this for the rest of the night now.
Get what?
The radio star
God damn it! You made me get peep by Josh.
by the Buggles. Favorite video is Aha. Take on me.
That was the 3rd worst minute of the podcast.
That was your fault.
Was it?
Yeah.
Finished our Alter Carbon, I wouldn't have got so fucking. New show premieres on what we're watching. First up, Hard Sun, a Hulu joint.
I watched half of an episode of this.
Me too.
Nope.
No, I already told you. Don't expect much out of me tonight.
Awesome.
Tell me
the
about it.
first
Sell it to me.
episode I
Wanna hear it.
struggled mightily with.
It's a
the same
Jim
way.
Sturgis joint.
Who's
you know,
that?
from across the universe in 21.
That guy, he's back.
I
He
don't know who
also
that
was in a show that was supposed to be big for AMC last year called Feed the Beast with David Schwimmer.
Oh my god, was that last year?
It was last year, and it was awful. Like, just awful.
Cooking or something like that, wasn't it?
He
was-
Jim was a chef
Yeah.
and like in with the mob. That show was bad. It made like 3 episodes before they canceled it.
Yeah, he was the star of 21, starring also Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. He who shall not be named.
No, his name is Kevin Spacey. He's a dick.
All right then. He's a great actor.
He's a
though.
great actor. He's a dick.
Hard Sun is a show about a corrupt cop and a very by the numbers cop that get paired up together that stumble upon the fact that the sun is going out and that the earth is going to die in like 5 years, and the government is very much trying to keep this a secret, and they have this knowledge now, and they are being hunted by top level government officials. It's a great premise with some spotty storytelling in the first episode.
Yeah, I didn't get hooked in the first episode. It's really slow.
I hate to be this guy. The end of the
Get
episode
through.
really, and I haven't.
think for an episode that's reasonable.
A
The
season.
end of the
Season, like,
episode
just
really
get to
kind of
season
brings
6.
you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really picks up.
What about?
The end of the episode makes you want to watch episode 2, which I play.
Gotcha.
It's only 6 episodes. I think I'm going to finish this show.
I may retry it.
It's
some
such,
point, but-
if nothing else, it's a great candidate for the Evans for the TV award.
Fair enough.
Black Sails. Would that be one for me?
Well,
I watched the
I
first
mean,
episode.
you should watch that whole series. It's incredible.
First season's probably also the worst season.
It's
too.
100%
Easily.
the worst.
It really picks up in season 2.
I'm really trying to think here for something for me.
That show
You should
go-
read the book though.
That show goes 3, 2, 4,
I hear
1
it's better.
Okay.
for me.
3 is so good.
It's unquestionably
The
the best.
the introduction of Blackbeard.
Yes.
Wayward Pines.
Yes.
But I already know the secret, though.
Or just rewatch Helix.
It's in the sauce.
Can I just rewatch Helix?
No.
No.
Oh, I miss it.
You can
I
rewatch
miss
The
it.
Strain.
I miss it so much. No. I had so much hope
Powers.
for that show. I'd rewatch Powers.
Fuck
You piece of crap.
Of course you
I would be the only one to finish it.
You cock.
Good. That's what you deserve.
You
Like
cocky
me.
cock. Already?
That's my favorite text. I'm taking a screenshot.
You're welcome. I'll be back.
Yep.
Oh man. Hey, what show did you not watch?
Man, he don't know. He doesn't look at OneNote.
Would
Get
you
outta
be really
here.
upset if you missed any of the shows we're
Did you
gonna
watch
talk
Life
about?
Sentence?
No, I didn't.
I did not either.
Yeah, talk about that.
All right. Did you watch Krypton?
No.
Okay.
There you go. Talk about that.
Let's talk about Life Sentence. We're gonna move on from Hard Science. I think
CW
it's a solid
and me
watch.
were fighting this week, or Sci-Fi rather, and me were fighting this week, so I couldn't watch Krypton.
So Krypton, we've been looking forward to this one for a while.
I really want to
I'm
watch it.
Not a big Superman guy, but I always hear good things about the Last Days of Krypton. I know Trey would be chiming in on that. He loves that book. And if there's any part of Man of Steel I like the stuff on Krypton with
First 20 minutes or so with
Russell
Russell Crowe. Thank you. What's his name? Jor-El?
Jor-El.
Yeah. Loved that part. If that whole movie had been that, I'd be super in on it.
Wouldn't be much Supermaning going on.
Huh?
Wouldn't be a whole lot of Superman in that
No, there would not.
Superman movie.
So turns out, I will say this: his current comic is not bad at all, though. At least Action Comics is not bad. I digress. But,
Ish.
huh?
Ish.
Yeah.
It's taking you a while.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the comic. I'm reading a lot of fucking comics right now. So Krypton is a show about Superman's great grandfather, or no, just grandfather. And I cannot remember his name at the moment. Maggie from Ray Donovan, his wife,
Yeah.
plays his great grandmother. She continues to suck.
I do miss Ray Donovan, though.
True story. This show's way more boring than I wanted it to be.
I'm afraid that I'm hoping it's just the first episode. I've heard more
last-
positive things.
The last quarter of the first episode is solid. It's just kind of a lot of setup, but you need something to keep you going on. And I just don't get it. It didn't get enough. I like the politics aspect of like Krypton. It teased it, never got enough into it. You had Adam Strange, I believe. Is that a DC character?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. From Ron.
I'm sorry.
Ron?
Like he runs so far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Got to get away.
Well, got to. He shows up and like brings a sun something, but it unlocks the fortress basically. But
To a Zeta beam?
I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Adam
going
Strange
swimmingly.
appears. I'm sorry. I don't know enough about it.
you're
I'm
okay,
the
you're
one that
okay.
shouldn't be doing this.
You're right.
So he shows up but like he has limited time in the past and he fades out every single time. But he says that there is some big enemy. It's Brainiac.
Oh, yeah.
In the Collector of Worlds, I think they call him. Is coming back in time to wipe out Superman's family to prevent Superman. And he comes from a time when they very much embrace that Superman's this hero in the future. He brings his cape and all that stuff. And that his grandfather needs to save time. And so he gives him this, it's the big long, looks like a big icicle with the Superman logo on the end of it.
Yeah.
Because his great-grandfather, or great-great-grandfather, I'm sorry, this is so fucking convoluted.
Is it Val-El or Seg-El?
Fuck if I know, dude.
What were
Anyways,
those two names?
Val-El or Seg-El?
What's the actor name?
Ian McElhinney.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
You know what? His name's my name too. That's my
Proud of you.
name.
Anyways, his great-great-grandfather at the beginning of the show is killed for treason because there's a new governing body which seems like, you remember the dudes that dress all in black in the old Superman movies?
Yeah,
You know about
Zod's team.
Zod's minions.
Yeah,
Zod?
they seem to be alluding to that's where this is going.
I mean, I guarantee that's where
Oh
they're
shit,
going.
that
when
was
they...
Terrence Stamp.
Yeah, it was.
I just now realized that.
Wait, for real?
I never knew Terrence Stamp until Star Wars.
This is what happens when I try to describe Superman storylines. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of a convoluted thing going in, and it's not super interesting. And the end of it kind of like teases a whole lot, which I really don't want to like ruin the first episode for you. It's an okay thing. Boone was very excited about the effects, and they're decent for sci-fi. And him going 10 out of 10 is ludicrous. The preview for Westworld had better effects, but
Also, Star Trek exists.
yes, I mean Star Trek's not even in my top 3, and it has wonderful effects. Altered Carbon, which all jokes aside, it has maybe the best effects on TV. Game of Thrones, Westworld, Star Trek, for that matter, is incredible. And for sci-fi, The Expanse is unraveled, but
Yeah, I got as far into the first episode as the app would allow me, which was up to the point where it looked like the great grandfather was going into the Phantom Zone.
they say he's dead.
Do they?
Yeah,
Okay, well that's different.
Who's dead?
the great-great-grandfather of Superman.
Oh.
They kill him because there's some dude ruling Krypton right now that has a mask on that has like faces all around. He looks like the fucking Living Tribunal in Marvel.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's not cool looking. It doesn't look
Gotcha.
good on TV. But I don't know. Like I like the guy that's the main guy, like the grandfather.
Sorry, there's an actor's last name in this show is Hard Diker.
That's fair. I don't know if you
Sure,
knew
it's not
this.
Hardiker?
Krypton
Nope,
was
it's Hard
also
Diker.
British. So there's that.
The
As
British?
is everything on TV.
If they don't
British.
know how to do an accent, they go British.
Well,
I mean,
they're hardcore British then.
interesting.
Also, there's a time jump from when the great-great-grandfather dies at the very beginning of the show to 14 years later, which is when the bulk of the story takes place.
Yeah.
And the guy that like orders his death does not age in those 14 years. It's
You
incredible.
don't know how Krypton works.
I guess I don't because they say they live like 200 years, so I guess maybe that makes sense. But the main character goes from a small boy to like this strapping young lad at that point, and I'm like, I don't understand
That
any
doesn't
of
check
this.
out.
Age
So-
works differently on different planets, Evan.
They're on the same planet.
There are more worlds
No,
than these. Evan.
not on ours. They might age differently, the different time spans.
That's fair. I admitted that. I don't understand. It was just it kind of jumped
They
out
hit
at
a
me.
strapping 25 and then don't age for
Yeah.
What is it with you
200
and
years.
straps?
I mean,
You know.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
a strap on is a
Anyways,
belt.
it
with
was
a
a-
dildo attached to
it's
it.
enough, and probably because it's a comic show and because I was so excited, I will give it another episode before I make a final judgment on that. If I had to choose right now, I'd probably drop it.
that's fair.
But we'll see.
That's fair. I mean, I'm excited for the show a lot, but I am trepidatious just because it's a Superman show that doesn't have Superman in it, so I don't know.
Boone bamboozled me a little too. Like he got really hyped after watching the preview, and good
Yeah.
on him. I'm glad he likes it so much. But he was like, "It's one of the best like first episodes, like pilots I've ever seen." I was like, "Damn, all right,
You got bamboozled?
yeah, that's fair." I got bamboozled. I can't do it.
Boonzled.
I can't do it. My mouth doesn't work that way. Poor jailer, right?
Trey's doesn't either.
Just like
Stephen's
Still
aboard.
at 2x4s.
just
there.
like somebody beating a fish with an oar. It's just swap.
all that. All that.
Life sentence. Life sentence.
Uh,
Life sentence.
Do we have to?
Come on.
Yeah, we do. You fucks. I
You
watched
like
it.
don't you?
It is actually not a bad show at all.
What is it?
which
I,
one is this?
This is the CW one where the girl gets cancer and then doesn't.
they say she has
Yeah.
terminal cancer, and so she's been living her life a certain way, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, this experimental treatment you did, you were told you're not in remission, you're cured."
I thought the trailer fucking sucked.
The trailer was terrible.
I agree with all that. And
Ray
she
doesn't
finds out
like
that her
it.
family
You
has
liked
been like lying to her to like make her last.
I remember this now. Yeah.
It is a delightful show. It is very charming. It's a little in your face with all that. But
Right.
the lead girl is she's a cute girl. She is very like bubbly. You would 100% like the show. It's not enough. I don't
That's a
think
low
it's-
bar to set these days.
That's actually 100% fair.
It's also executive produced by Dick Wolf.
Wolf dick.
No, then,
in the
yeah,
phone book.
I'll watch it immediately.
You would like the show. It's probably not going to get picked up, so there's no reason for you to start it at this point.
Gotcha.
Would I
you
like
would've-
this show?
Lucy Hale. She's
Maybe-
been in something.
What's the show that
Yes,
came out
she
last year? on CW that we
I
both
did
liked.
not like it.
Oh,
I know you
God,
did.
with the
Pretty
chick from
roll.
that's
End of the
now
world or
on
whatever.
In yeah,
Blind Spot.
it's something like that. The world was ending, and she got convinced of that. It got
No
canceled.
Tomorrow.
Gallivant
No
was
tomorrow.
on
No tomorrow
That
is
is-
it?
I am 2 for 2.
it. Gallivant was on it.
You are 2 for 2. That was only a year ago, but still,
Well, I mean, more like 2 for like 6.
it's very
You remember 2.
it's very similar to that show. Very similar.
Okay.
Then
yeah,
I
Like
not
to like to the
necessarily
feel
like
of it, the comedy of it.
Okay, yeah, I enjoyed.
And
And
it's
the
a-
show was very feel
I didn't
good.
get a whole lot of feel good comedy out of the trailer. It's
There
interesting.
are some nice little emotional impact moments, probably more so, and there are more so than No Tomorrow, but it has a very similar feel to the show.
Okay.
But it's worth checking out. It's not a for sure cancel. It's doing okay ratings for CW, but they just renewed 10 shows.
Also, CW is probably the hardest channel for me to watch without actual cable.
Seed sucks.
It sucks hard.
No,
Yeah.
Seed is different than the actual CW app, though.
Both
They
of them
both
are
suck,
awful
and
compared
they-
to everything else.
And they remove episodes like 3 seconds after they've
It is
aired.
annoying.
AMC
That's-
is worse though.
You're right. I am
AMC
sorry.
is the champ of
They are
bad
both
streaming.
I wasn't able to
CW does
finish
like
Preacher for that reason.
it's like 5 episodes.
They do 5. They do
Did I ever
exactly.
tell you I
5.
finished Preacher?
You did. I am going to catch that up for you so we can talk about that. And because I'd love
It's been a couple of weeks.
yeah. I'm sorry, we've been busy.
It's Chuck's Altered Carbon.
You
Yeah!
fuck.
Fuck.
You haven't had
Fuck you guys.
you haven't had me put
Fuck
on
this
schedule?
place.
Bullshit. No, fuck
You're
you guys.
bullshit.
Yeah, for real, fuck you guys.
I finished Preacher way before you
no,
finished.
for real,
Altered
fuck you,
Carbon.
fuck you guys.
Fuck you
guys.
too.
Archered Common? That's what it sounded like you said.
Yeah, common.
Yeah,
Common.
Common.
Champions.
I did watch this.
Oh,
Not as much as you asshole.
I don't know what this is.
oh, God, don't, Chuck.
What?
Don't watch it.
It's an NBC comedy.
It is.
It's not going to get picked up.
It's not.
It's the third guy from Workaholics. He
It
finally
is.
got his own show, and I find him delightful.
There are funny moments.
His
in this
brother is wonderful.
I
Correct.
knew you guys
Correct.
liked his
He
brother.
is the new Jimmy.
Yes, that's exactly what he is, Trey.
Oh,
I literally, while watching it, thought Evan is gonna love this guy.
It's
I loved him.
Anders?
I had already loved him because I watched it before you. But
Well,
that-
when I watched, I didn't know that.
that kid is not the same gay kid as the real O'Neills, who
No.
that was a good portrayal of a very overtly gay young man, and they were able to touch on his issues, but also have a lot of comedy. This kid sucks.
I want to punch him.
It's not funny.
I hate him.
No.
I hate him so much, and I was not
It almost
wanting to
is
go
offensive to,
hyperbolic
like,
on this show.
Is that Mindy
how
Kaling?
they use him
Yes, it
being
is.
gay is funny.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, hard for us to say, but yeah,
It seems like it would be that way
Yes,
to
okay,
me.
so I didn't remember the premise to this show, and for the first 5 minutes of this program, I thought the brothers were just gay lovers.
you know what? I could see how you would kick that.
Dude, it's been a while for me, and I
Man,
don't remember that.
they,
nighttime.
they both feel like stereotypically gay characters on television. Not that is how gay people act, but they felt like stereotypically
I
gay
enjoy those
characters.
brothers a lot. I think they're hilarious. If this show was just about them, like I would think it would
I
be
actually agree with that. If you
hysterical.
cut out the
Man,
kid
but
and Mindy
like,
Kaling, I would
That
totally agree
fat,
with you.
that overweight
I
lady.
hate
Sorry,
that woman.
she is in so many things. I like her. She,
She
was
was-
awesome in Life in Pieces.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to
she
think
was
of.
wearing that
Oh.
unitard wrestling
She
outfit.
wrestled, yeah, she wrestled a dude from
Netflix has that. Sorry,
No, go ahead.
Netflix has that
what?
the
No,
stand
go
up
ahead.
special. It's like just 6 short episodes, and she's got a 30-minute bit in that, and
Is
it's
she funny?
really funny.
I think she's funny.
I've never seen her used effectively. I didn't.
she was
watch
the
Life
best
in
part of the
Pieces, so-
John Mulaney show.
That is the God's honest truth.
It
No,
is
that
also
girl, that
it's
girl
also
you
the
thought was an
lowest
11.
bar.
What?
That girl you thought was like
Wasn't it
an
Chelsea
11.
Peretti?
Yeah, because she
Wasn't
is
Chelsea
an
Peretti.
11,
It's the other. Like she kind of looks a little like her.
Little
but
like Chelsea
little,
Peretti.
little less
but
beakish.
way hotter.
Who is she married to?
I don't think Chelsea Peretti's unattractive.
I don't think she's unattractive, but her nose is.
Sometimes
She
those
got
girls are
schnoz.
hot.
Who is she married to?
Who? Chelsea Peretti?
Yeah, it's
Toucan
somebody-
Sam.
No, it's somebody fucking shocking.
God damn it.
Brad Pitt.
Yes, I'm gonna look it up.
I mean, shocking.
Darth Vader.
All right, we done talking about
George Bush.
champions.
H. Bush. No, we're not.
H.W. Bush.
That show I don't think was that bad.
Barbara Bush.
Josh was super out on it from the beginning.
I hate that
Clearly.
show.
Goldberg.
He hates that kid.
I laughed quite a bit. Enough where I was like, I'm going to keep this show. I was like, this is probably going to be an Evans show, but I don't care. I'm going to like it because it's not
Sure.
going to get picked up. It's doing terribly.
Right.
Jordan Peele.
What?
Yep.
Oh, that's random. Good for
Peretti?
her.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That show
Married
gets
up.
progressively worse.
He's a handsome man. I mean, he's fat, but that's okay. He likes.
Chubby.
I mean, we
I wouldn't call him
can say
fat.
nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyways,
we're fat.
yeah, that show continues to get worse. Like
I don't doubt
it
it.
goes downhill. Like I was like, oh, I can't keep watching
They
this.
probably started leaning on Mindy Kaling for comedy. Which
She's
is a
actually not
bad
terrible
thing.
in it, but she is that show is her like she is the executive producer of that show, and I'm pretty sure she's a writer on that show.
I legitimately don't think there's been a single second of her on on screen that I've ever enjoyed.
We
I don't-
believe that.
I don't hate Mindy Kaling,
We
but,
are aware.
Man, do I
like
hate
hardcore aware.
She's
You-
the worst
As
part
much
of
as
the
I'm
office.
now aware of how much you hate that poor kid,
Man, I hate that kid.
who I didn't like, but now feel very sorry for, just based on your hate for him.
Which one are we talking about?
the gay kid.
The gay kid in the show.
You like
that we
kid
just
actors,
talked about.
though.
Man, he's bad.
and the gays.
He is bad.
I do like both of those things.
You know
but
what's
he's not
awesome?
great.
You know what's awesome? You know what's awesome?
What's that?
Deception.
Deception is awesome.
I hate to
Admit
say
it.
it. It's fucking awesome.
It's the new castle.
Kinda.
It's a,
No, not kind
Like
of.
back when it was fun?
yeah.
Yes. It is the exact
It's from
same
the writers of
premise.
I hate that I missed this.
It's
I
will
hate
watch
that you
it.
missed it.
I
It's
wanna watch
really
it.
good.
It's
Luckily,
charming
there's
as
no
fuck.
like spoilers. Really,
It is really charming. That
It's
Isn't this
Castle
the
meets
magician
Now
that
You
helps
See
them
Me.
solve crimes?
Yes.
It's Castle, but with the magician.
and it's as ridiculous as it sounds, and they make it work. It's got Sucre from Prison Break in it, and
Yep.
he's the best because
Yeah, he is.
every time a trick gets told how it's done, he's like, "Man,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite characters. Vinny Jones is in it.
yep."
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the guys who helps him put together.
He's like the
tricks.
magician's assistant. He builds all the stuff for
Him?
him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
okay.
not like the attractive.
No, yeah, he
magician's
builds like
assistant.
all the like contraptions
he's-
that helps him perform. all
He's
that.
never been the attractive
It
anything.
might be the first work he's done since
That-
Gallivant season 2.
That main guy makes that show work.
He's
Yep.
if he wasn't charming, the show doesn't
I
work.
mean, Lucifer wouldn't work if they didn't get the guy
Yeah,
they got for
that's
Lucifer.
fair.
I agree. It is just so fun though. Like the episodes are just easy to watch.
It's the classic. It's not serialized, but it is.
And like
Yeah.
everything that's done, no spoilers, I guess, but with like the kind of crux of the season, I enjoy like thoroughly.
Let me tell you what it's about, because you find out 5 minutes into
I was
it.
gonna say I don't feel like that's a
He's
spoiler.
been for his entire life. He has an identical twin brother, and that's how they've never made it public. No one knows that there's two of them, and they've been pulling off these crazy stunts because there's two of them, and no one knows it.
It's like the reverse of the Olsen twins.
Yes,
They just move real fast.
It's like
yes, John Oliver.
the Prestige, but
So
not with clones.
yes, so spoilers for the Prestige.
Sorry, I did just spoil Chris Nolan's best movie.
I love the Prestige.
That's also
So
not
good.
true.
I also don't agree with that, but it's amazing. So anyways, yes. So and then the other brother, not the main guy, gets framed for a murder and is put in jail. And the whole you have Freak of the Week kind of storylines going on, also with him trying to get his brother out of jail, who refuses
Yeah,
to let him
it
like
is
break
the
him.
standard like 80-20 split. 80% of it is the specific case of the week. 20%
It
is
will
them
tie to what's
taking
the
another
overarching
step, yeah.
story.
You ever wonder
To
if a
the
guy,
Blacklist, all
Yep.
those types.
if a character has two different acting credits to get two different paychecks?
No,
Never wondered that before.
No, I don't think they do.
I kind of do now, but I'm agree with him.
I doubt
don't
they get
think
two
so.
separate paychecks.
They might get more.
They probably get more money than they would if they were only playing one part.
But I doubt, because I mean, especially if
I
it's
never
like
do
the
when
star.
I act on stage and screen.
That's
Do
a
you
crying
think-
shame. Call your agent.
Do you
Okay.
think if two actors
Josh, get on
got-
that shit.
Okay.
Call Boone.
Do you think if two actors
No, he's
got
not my
one-
agent. Fuck that guy.
He's not Jewish.
It's not going to happen, man. You've been overridden.
I just want to
That was
know
really
if the Olsen
funny.
I
twins
thought
had to
that's why you
split
went
one
with Josh.
paycheck.
No.
Yes.
That was slightly racist.
I think it had to happen.
Definitely when they were
I'm
in
glad
Full
he
House.
missed all
And
that.
now I think they just have to pay back Elizabeth for all of the loans that she has
Miss
clearly had to
Elizabeth?
give them.
That's completely
Miss
true.
Elizabeth?
Olsen.
Oh.
The
Lex
Olsen.
Luger killed her.
I was wondering whether or
So,
not the Olsen
I always
twins
forget
had to
that's
split
a
one
thing.
check
We're
from
gonna talk
Michelle
about Pacific Rim later. You know that
Yeah,
song
we
that you
are.
hate,
Torture
the
rack.
War Ready. In my head, I can't stop thinking about Randy Savage from Spider-Man doing the Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw is
So every
ready.
time I hear that song, I hear War is ready, like over and over
Oh my
again,
God.
and it makes me
Bone
cry.
ready.
Laugh.
There are two quotes
That's
from.
better than Conway Fitty.
No, it's
There are-
not.
No, you
There are
take
two
that
quotes
back.
from Randy Savage that always pop into my head. That is one of them.
War is ready.
And the other is him is him proposing to Miss Elizabeth back in the day. And he's like, Elizabeth.
God bless
Will you marry me?
God, I love
You slipped into Metallica there for a minute.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Oh, man.
Oh, that
But yeah,
ruined
I
it.
can't unhear it. I heard.
I like Metallica, but that's still ruined.
I saw the preview again, and that's all I could think of. Just the war is ready.
Oh my god.
There was so much still to talk about.
Like Kaysen used to mess with me all the time because I'm a big Randy Savage fan. He was like snapping to a tree limb.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Always
God
too
damn it.
soon.
Why you gotta go with Sonny
Forever
Bono
too
that way?
soon.
Well, that's
man.
also hell.
Yeah.
Randy Savage.
I know it was a joke.
Yeah.
Well, it was poor.
He
Well,
also
we're
had
gonna
a
move
heart
on.
attack before it happened. I think he actually.
That's
might
why
have
he
died
ran off
before
the
he hit
road.
the tree.
Because
Doesn't matter.
roids.
No matter, he did.
why
Or
I don't
Vince
do
killed
it.
him finally for fucking Stephanie when she was underage.
Vince has
Hello?
killed at least 5 people.
The United States of jelly beans.
Yeah, you did. That's impressive as fuck.
I hate you.
No, dude, look at it. It's impressive.
I'll put it on our Twitter feed.
It also looks like a mutant bunny.
Kyle would save that.
What's the next show?
Instinct.
What's that?
Did I watch that?
I think I did.
You hate us so much right now.
I worked my ass off.
I'm
I
sorry.
watched a lot of stuff. I thought.
I thought so too.
No,
What
I
is it?
didn't finish a lot of the finished shows because we had our movie cast to get ready for, and that
Yeah.
that killed a lot of us.
I
But
gotta know what
you
Instinct
fucks,
is.
man. I watched most of this in the past. I stayed up till 4 a.m. last night.
Yeah, but you worked till like 2:30.
What do you think I had running whilst I was
No.
stuffing envelopes?
What is Instinct?
It's Alan Cumming.
No, I didn't watch
Oh,
it. I heard
yeah.
it sucks
Yeah.
so bad.
I kind of wanted to watch it. Is it bad?
What do you think? Do you watch it?
Is that on this show? I thought that was on next week's show. Or
Then
You're
Windows
lying. You
phone.
don't even have one note on that thing.
I don't.
Exactly.
Do you think we're on Google still?
Yes. What is OneNote?
What do you think of Instinct, Evan?
It's not
We can
terrible.
push it.
It's not terrible. But yes, it's the first impressions, and it's like 3 episodes in now.
Travis is gonna like the show, isn't he?
Yes.
I like
didn't
Alan
plan on
Cumming.
watching it to be like I didn't think I would.
You
like
don't like
it.
Alan Cumming? He's a treasure.
It works because
He
it,
bamfs.
it 100% works only because of Alan. It is a generic ass show that you've seen the premise of 100 times. He is a
It looks like Bones.
he's a professor who specializes in like psychopaths. Basically, he thinks very differently. It comes out in the first episode that he actually worked for the used to work for the CIA as a consultant. He was like a case manager. He has a not photographic memory, but a
He's got a
phonographic.
quirk though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a phonographic memory. Like anything with like he hears his memory.
Okay.
He has perfect pitch and all that. Like so, like just sounds are what works for him.
So Boone just narrowly missed out on this role. then.
Fair, yeah. He's so
Trey's looking at OneNote for the first time this week.
what is OneNote?
Florida just seceded.
They're probably pretty close. I'll
The
be
South's
honest
gonna
with
do
you.
it again.
It's gonna start in Texas or Florida. Just pick one.
Anyways, and it's got the female cop that is like the overbearing female cop that
Right.
had bad history with partners. Her partner died and all that stuff.
Sure.
She's actually bad. She's a bad actress on the show. But Alan Cumming is just so fucking charming. Like, I'm not gonna continue watching this. Like,
Right.
He's
But
invincible.
I did not hate watching the first episode at all. He wrote a book, like a fiction book about murders and stuff. That's very smart, and it went super big. He's trying to figure out how to write a second book. That's why he joins this case because
This is
The
the
second
Newcastle.
castle of the week.
because somebody is using his book to as a form of doing being a serial killer.
Interesting.
It's the second castle
Yeah,
of
it
the
really
week. That's
is.
how the first episode is.
He's super charming, and I don't think it's going to stick with that formula, obviously.
Right.
But I certainly didn't hate watching it. But I don't think without Alan Cumming, this show probably doesn't work because I mean you've seen this show before, not just Castle. You've seen a lot of these shows before.
Right. I mean, it's pretty
just
standard
a
formula.
serialized procedural almost.
Yeah, it's
just-
CBS as fuck. With Alan
I
Cumming,
don't think CBS can handle that.
they do a lot. Ugly Delicious.
I have watched this.
Yeah, you did. It make you want pizza.
It still to this day makes me want pizza.
That was early on in my diet, and I was like, "Why am I doing this to myself?"
Garbage
I can't
pizza?
I
imagine.
didn't get a chance to watch it.
It is not as good as Somebody Feed Phil.
Literally nothing is.
It's not as fun as that. It is people with different ideologies about food, like that have strong opinions, and they are forced to go into other environments on that food. Like, it's somebody like the typical New York guy that like like he is very New York.
New York pizza only.
Yeah,
He goes to Chicago,
like he is
doesn't
very much. He goes all over the world to all different
Yeah.
types of pizza places, and like all of them kind of do that. There is one main guy who's an Asian American, who is like the main like guy for the show.
Yeah, I think
but
he's
there
like a famous chef or something.
he is. I just don't know.
Yeah, I
who
don't know
he is
his name either.
personally.
I'm talking
Is it Eddie Huang?
It is not Eddie Wong. I don't
Is it,
think.
No, I'm
Shohei?
pretty sure it's not.
Is it Shohei Otani?
Sure.
Who is a Japanese prospect that just came over? He's actually a batter and a pitcher.
No, no, that's Miramata son.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good way to show me up.
But anyway, it's a cool show about seeing people like broaden their horizons on people that clearly know about food, but no, they're kind of stuck in their ways, and like because it's very
David
pretentious
Chang.
at times. Like they are, yes, that is actually it. Like they're like one of them is like Domino's is not that bad, and like he's like you can get a good slice of pie from Domino's. It's like not what we have, but it's not bad. And the one
Right.
guy's like, this is he refuses to call it pizza. He's like, I mean, you're right. This is not that bad, but it's not pizza.
It's kind of fair though.
No, it's not. It's 100% pizza.
Yeah, it totally is.
That guy's like the most pretentious douchebag of the first episode. That show,
actually kind of like the Big New Yorker. Though. That's a pretty good pizza. I enjoy it.
Wow, I forgot about that pizza.
It's still a thing. I used to, like
Really?
Yeah, you can still get it.
Man, Little Caesars back in the day.
you might actually really enjoy this show.
I wanted to watch it, but I was also like really hungry when I was looking at it. I was like, I can't. I will go spend so much money on food if I do that.
They used to do pizza, where you would order buy pizza, and 2 of them came in one box.
I remember that.
They also
Long
used
time
to
ago.
do the
From the
3-foot
90s.
one. I can't remember what it was called though.
The 3-footer.
the Evan.
Both of those.
We'll move on. That's about all you can say about Ugly Delicious.
I think
Yeah.
it was called the Bigfoot.
It feels.
It was the Bigfoot.
Somebody feels.
It actually was the Bigfoot. You're correct
I
about
do
that.
remember that.
No, you,
The Bigfoot pizza.
You're
That was
just
back
trying
when
to
like,
fit in.
and I like Little Caesars now for what it is.
For $5, it's a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
You can't buy a frozen pizza for
But
that, and it's way better.
Little Caesars back in the day was like one of the big chains. Like
Yeah, and it still is. But they just went a different route,
They
a smart
went- they
route,
went
because they were
budget
falling
instead.
behind.
Yeah.
It's one of the most genius things that a company.
It would be
can do, I
like
think.
if Fox figured out how to
Yep.
pass the other
that
networks.
was only $10. I mean, they
That's
fooled you.
$11.
They fooled
would
you
cost-
because they just
that
took
costs
a pizza
what
and
nowadays,
stretched it out,
35?
but
I'd say more like 25. I bet that would be a $23 to $25 pizza.
That's fair. You're probably right. I
That's
overshot.
kind of like the Pizza Hut like dinner in the box, only it doesn't have the breadsticks.
Box doesn't
and
have that
stuff.
much pizza though, man. Nowhere
No,
near that much
it
pizza.
doesn't. But it does have like breadsticks.
The box
and
is still a
wings.
good deal. I like the box.
It's all right. I don't love Pizza Hut pizza unless it's stuffed crust. But then I just mostly want the crust.
I'll tell you about my
Actually,
experience
their
at Pizza
pan
Hut, because
is
you know
good.
I'm a Pizza Hut defender.
Yeah.
I got
I love you
pissed,
anyway.
man. I got real pissed.
Pizza Hut has a hot dog stuffed crust.
I'd do it.
That was not in the States, but yes.
I'd do it.
Where was it?
I parked.
I can't remember now, but
You
I'm
know,
just-
like the drive-through.
Oh, yeah, you
on the-
told us
on the
this
one on Key
story.
Street. Yeah, I parked in it and refused to move my car and went inside until I got my pizza. They're like, "You're gonna have to move forward." I was like, "I'm not
that's-
fucking
I
moving."
remember, you told us about this.
Yeah,
I
that was a
remember now.
pizza. I was mad. I was like so mad. And
As
I
you
wanted to
should
be
be.
like, "Do you know how much I defend you, asshole?"
I actually really like their pan pizza.
That's the only way to go. Rise.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
The new serious Glee.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show.
Oh god damn it!
Oh, you also watched it?
Yeah,
Well, I feel less good about liking it now, but I did
Yeah.
like it.
it's not bad.
It is awful.
It's not that bad.
I hate.
Here's the
this
thing.
show.
I think I agree with most of what Evan's about to say. I just didn't. It didn't.
But here's the
Maybe
point.
not
You're
like
like,
the
I
show.
agree with all the points it makes. I get. I just don't want to be pandered to, even if I agree with it. Man, that show is the definition of pandering.
I don't disagree. Again, it's not so much that I'm like okay with the pandering. It just doesn't really.
But
I don't know, it just doesn't bother me.
it bothers me so hard, and
You guys are making me think of pandas right now.
that's fair. Well,
Express
full
pandas?
disclosure, I don't like Josh Radnor, so that was already like a strike against.
That's
him.
fair.
And to be fair, I will admit he's not actually my problem with it. The writing for him is the problem with this, but his performance is not terrible.
He Mosby's everywhere.
Yeah. The kids can actually, when it's better, when they're going for the heartfelt, first off, Rise is the story of a very social justice, political, like, correctness, climate theater group of what this show is
Yeah,
going to be
it's-
about.
I feel like the main character is more so the one that's like very clearly politically correct and like.
Oh, no,
a
have you
social
seen, like, the
justice warrior.
planned stuff for this? This is, every episode is planned around, like, social issues. Literally every
Oh, that
episode.
doesn't surprise me at all.
that I get enough of that shit, and this show doesn't do it in a smart way. I think Tori said something earlier when we were talking about this in the group when we have fun like bashing it or defending it, you know, what have you. It is like Glee, that is not as well written. It's not at any point really funny, and it doesn't. It's not the main thing. It's not self-aware. Like it takes itself really serious. Glee always knew what it. I don't really love Glee. I don't hate it like some people are like fuck Glee.
I really.
It can be
the first 3
enjoyable.
seasons. I truly like. I watched it week by week.
I get that. I think Glee is a demonstrably better ran show than this show. Does not feel like it takes itself so serious. Like
So
we are going
this-
to change
this
things.
feels like-
we're going to say what everyone's been saying.
This feels like the
constantly.
docudrama of Glee. Sorry, Lee.
Oh,
Baker?
well.
Fair. No, my big thing is, so I didn't like Glee from the
Rosie
beginning.
Perez?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
also strike 2.
She's still alive, man.
I mean, I know that she's the boxing correspondent for the Levitard show.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah,
You and Levitard.
it's funny.
It is funny, but I lost respect just then. I hate Rosie Perez. It's the only thing wrong with White.
Dude, she tells some really funny stories.
Can't jump. That's the second part of
Wait.
that title.
Man,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Wait.
we were talking about it earlier. That's why
I can hear Jimmy.
I get that's
You
good.
were, you were just
I
like,
can hear Jimmy.
Rosie Perez is the only bad thing about white men.
That's actually a good call, man. I'm sorry.
I had to save you on that one,
You
man.
did save me, man.
I did not catch that.
Thank you for catching that. That actually, I mean, I guess it'd be like self-hating white, but yeah. We don't have anything else wrong with us. It's a fucking Rosie Perez. She's been bringing us down for 40 years now. Well, I'm on a list.
Nowadays, you're perfectly fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Facebook just changed me to alt-right.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where, yes, this show has problems. I enjoy musicals. I enjoy musical performance in TV. Like, yes, it is preachy, and I get that. And especially, they are leaning hard on those Hamilton ties in the first episode. Like, they, like, put it in the description of the show and everything. And then, like, the first time he goes home and his daughter is just listening openly on her iPod.
And they show the iPod, so it says Hamilton.
And she's, like, singing along to it as well. I was like, okay.
It is 100% ham-fisted. Like, everything about the show
Yes.
is ham-fisted.
But I enjoy it still.
I do, too. I like the musical theater part. Like, I totally agree that the social justice warrior stuff is totally in your face. And if they toned it down, I would certainly not be upset about it.
It's just not smart.
I like the Catholic kid's story in the first episode.
It is 100% the best part of that show so far.
I would
what
agree
they
with that.
show, and even he seems like he might be a gay kid that hasn't come
That
out
maybe
yet.
that isn't willing
But
to
he
accept
is,
it or whatever
but
the
and
case may be.
he's religious and he's struggling with what his face means and
Oh,
being
I
gay.
totally took that as...
And
you guys haven't seen the second episode. have
No,
you?
I haven't. So I think that is
gay.
a nice little issue to touch. Yeah, which we all figured. I don't.
Spoilers.
That's something that's not touched on, and it wasn't super like they didn't keep beating you over
Yes,
the
it
head
was-
with it.
Yeah.
When he
There's a
he
nice
said what he
moment-
was going to do, and he said, and he explained it to his mom and dad, and he said, "I love you, and I really don't want to disappoint you," and all sort of stuff. That was good TV. That is the only part about this show that I like.
The-
But that
What
was
is-
well
and
done.
then- Again, in the second episode.
Name, by the way, it's
I
ridiculous.
don't know.
He says it.
It
a
was
bunch of
something
times.
different every time, and it sounds like he's sneezing or clearing his throat. He's like,
Oh man,
it's
I
like
totally don't remember this part of
The
the
kid-
show.
I mean, just
I
the kid,
remember
yeah.
the kid you're talking about. I just don't remember them saying his name and
if
me
you see a
thinking
guy
it's
named
weird.
that starts with a K, that's it. I guess.
There's the
Caitlin?
transgender boy that's
Maybe.
in it too. that-
Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's barely in the first episode. So
Well, I was
don't
gonna
know
say
anything
they
about-
also
or-
have a very similar moment to the Catholic family in the second episode with him,
And that's fine.
that I
And no
like.
matter no matter what your beliefs, that can be
Yeah.
shown in a positive light. And as what the show I think is trying to be in a expanding your horizons, and having a fun way with it, and but also maybe like learning something like that. That's fine. And if it does it with that, that's good because it did that with the Catholic kid in the first one.
I'm hoping it
but
continues to
the
tone
other
that down.
57 minutes of that show, I was just like,
okay.
when
It
they
is
burn
much-
when they burn that shit.
it's bad. I will not
that
disagree
was
with that.
cheesy as fuck. But this feels like a show that can like quote unquote hit its stride. Like I feel like
It's
it's a
not
show
good.
that could get it together, and maybe not ratings wise, but
It
could
is
end
so
up.
borderline. Like they thought this was the most can't miss show.
It feels
ever.
like a show that
It got a
they
full season.
thought
It got a
was
full
can't
season
miss.
order last year.
Yeah.
before it ever aired, and it is so on the border. Like if it dips anymore, it's gone. The biggest reason it might get renewed right now is one because of what they put into it, and two because they own that show.
What
Yeah.
was the name of that show that came out about like being Broadway actors, like adults though? It was like a musical and it got
I
canceled.
100% know what you're talking about, but it did not last long at all.
Was it?
I never watched it.
Is that kid's name Gordy Mazzucchelli? Gordy?
In the show?
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I don't know who that is actually.
I don't think so either.
Mashus Evers?
I think that's it.
Mashus?
I don't think it starts with a K. I think it's.
Man, I don't fucking know.
Wow.
I actually don't care. Click on
Yeah.
his picture. I do care actually.
His real name is Rarmian.
Yeah, that's him.
Rarmian.
That
Sounds like a Battlestar Galactica villain.
Evan will find
I'll
out
find
soon.
out. This summer, come in the summer.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, The Expanse.
Yeah. The Expanse.
Is it back on Netflix yet?
Season 2, yeah.
Okay.
Because the next season starts like next week.
All right.
Man, how did I catch that?
Was it just called Gold?
Or not catch that guy's name? Is
That was a
weird.
show at
It's
some
weird
point. I
as
had no
fuck.
idea if that was it. I'm sorry, what? Sorry?
Smash.
I just
Smash,
never
yes,
caught
that is
that
it.
kid's name is weird as fuck. I don't,
Yeah, I never understood what it
I
was.
was, like, looking
He's
at my
like,
phone at that
he
point,
walked in,
or
he's
the-
like, guys, is going to live with this for a while.
God, we spent way more time on Rise than I was anticipating.
I wasn't. I thought Trey was like really into it. You're not as into it as I thought
I
you
like
might
it.
be.
I also just like. I'm not gonna. There's clearly no way I'm gonna talk you into liking it. So like,
no.
no sense of me like having a battle.
Speaking of which, let's talk about For the People.
Okay. This is another one.
The last ever ABC Shonda Rhimes show.
Nope, wasn't gonna
I-
watch it ever.
I will say I am happy that because I admit that I have a bit
Foda.
of a Shonda Rhimes like. There's not much I've seen from her that I like.
Hmm.
So if I would have known this was a Shonda Rhimes show, I feel like I would have gone in assuming the worst.
We've talked about it because I called it Foda People.
There's been a few Shonda
Of
Rhimes
Foda
show I
fame.
didn't hate.
I mean, the first season of How to Get Away with Murder was okay.
It was good.
There's another. We can talk about it next week. But Station 19, I watched an episode of.
You can talk about it. The Grey's Anatomy spinoff? I didn't put it on there because none of us watch Grey's Anatomy.
Also, I
You
didn't
didn't
know.
know.
I
it
didn't
was
know that's
Grey's
what it was.
Anatomy.
I just saw a new
You didn't.
firefighter show, and I love Chicago Fire.
is it terrible?
It's awful.
Do you need to see any more?
No, not really. It had the chick from Rosewood in it, and I was like, hell yeah, a firefighter show, chick from Rosewood. I'm in. Man.
Nope.
Dude.
Is there a lot of fucking in the fire station?
There is.
There you
There's
go.
literally some fucking in the fire station.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yep.
What do you?
Yeah, it's way
Uh,
too soap opera-y.
So, For the People, you're a fan.
I am, like, legit, like, not quite to the level of The Brave, because The Brave is...
Oh my God, it's in the Brave territory?
The Brave is most likely a top 10 show of the year for me. This is not that.
I've known that, and it still just baffles me. And I don't dislike the Brave at
I
all.
couldn't fathom that
This is-
show being close
this is
to
like-
top 10.
No, I can't either, and I liked it.
This is, like, a really good, like, excited to, like it's appointment television for me. Like,
This show,
as soon as I see a new
You know what
one,
the
I
show
go
i-
to it.
kind of I don't hate this show. I'm probably not going to watch it because its ratings aren't doing good.
That's fair. This is one that, like, The Brave that, like, I don't care whether or not it gets
This show
renewed or
is
not, I just wanna watch it.
Quantico in a courtroom.
That's not good.
That doesn't sound like that's fun at all. Not to me, anyway.
They make it fun. Man, that girl that went from
poison.
Under the Dome and then she thought her career was going to take off and she did Tomorrowland
Yep.
and she got shot.
Fuck tomorrow.
She got shot right in the
Yeah.
foot back down to
Then
ABC.
then she went to Netflix and did one season of Girl Boss, which I watched and liked, and then
and got
she-
canceled.
hard for probably good reason.
That she is
And-
female Taylor
Damn it.
Kitsch.
Man, Netflix
I just
never
figured it out.
Netflix never cancels shows.
Yeah, especially after one season.
Yeah,
Girl Boss.
yeah. Girl
'Cause
Boss
of the
is pretty
title.
solid. Anyway,
It's the worst
I
title.
really like her in everything I've seen her in.
God, Tomorrowland is so bad.
It's not the best.
It sucks.
I also think she's really cute.
She's gotten cuter. She doesn't look like
I-
a young girl anymore.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That was I was about to question you a little bit there.
No,
like-
she is very much an adult woman now,
Yes.
and she's
Okay.
and she is an attractive. She's not like super hot, but she's
No, no,
attractive.
Yeah, she wouldn't be, you know.
'Cause
that
I
show's
would
not
guess
so
like
anything, but-
13. in
That show is
Tomorrowland.
the dialogue you think it is. It's Quantico in a courtroom. I'm sorry, that's all it is.
I've not seen Quantico.
Is it a bunch of? So it's a bunch of young
It's-
hot
it-
people.
Yes, and it's two sides. And all of them are either like federal defense.
for the state's attorney.
Yes,
It's a Shonda Rhimes show. Of course, it's like
Yes.
Quantico.
It-
Quantico,
which
was
is not
an
the
honorary
most Shonda Rhimes, not
show.
Shonda Rhimes show.
And then the other half of the show
It's
is
not terrible.
Public Defenders.
I wouldn't hate if I watched more of this. if it was going to get picked up.
Yeah, for me, it's just it scratches a very particular itch that I have when it comes to television. Also, gonorrhea.
Oh, you
And-
heard that. Okay.
Surprising.
We should move on. Did you watch Timeless?
I did.
Okay, tell me
Turns
about
out
Timeless season
I don't
2.
remember anything about the first season of Timeless.
You loved that show.
Also Timeless.
It really is. Like to the point where
You can't understand the show.
yes. So I'm debating.
I've
on
had
whether
that
or not-
happen. I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
debating. It's the next like 12 Monkeys for me.
If it helps you, that show is fucking canceled.
Is it?
Yeah, like
I
hard.
might give it up.
I mean, it was
kind of
borderline.
like
No, no,
Save
no.
the last
It's
time.
not even close to borderline now. Its ratings are in the fucking tank.
Yeah,
People
I might
probably
just drop
forgot
that
it was
show
coming
then.
back.
That's kind of my
Like,
Mr. Robot every year.
I
It
watched-
takes me about halfway through the first
I
season.
always have to watch the end of the season before when I watch
So I
Robot.
just figured like the previously on would spark my memory.
Didn't do it, huh?
Listen, I have a shitty memory, but also if you remind me of something, typically I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. At least 70%
TV-wise,
of the time.
at least,
And,
yeah.
TV wise more so maybe.
Not so much.
No, man, I was like, no, I don't remember any of this.
You're right though. 12 Monkeys is hard to. There's so much going
Yeah.
on. So I
And
get
Timeless
your
is-
pain.
No, probably definitely not as like probably.
12 Monkeys.
Oh, you would like 12 Monkeys.
That's my show. Sorry.
No, you're good. You have a lot of different options. compared
12
to everyone
Monkeys, I
else
think, is
feel
the
like.
one that I would like the most.
It's awesome.
But I
Trey's
feel
a
like
crazy person.
I feel like that show, at least
She gave
for
the
me, would be
Aragorn
better
speech.
in like marathon sessions versus week to week, especially because of the whole memory
The old,
thing.
the old
this-
sticker.
Because
The
the
old
old this
noggin.
noggin.
The old head ticker.
If that show gets renewed, like it will be Gallivant level surprise of renewal.
That's fair. Yeah, I may
Cancellation bear.
drop it.
Yeah.
They're still going back
Who
in
still
time.
talks about that?
Her mom is evil.
They're like, we've never been so much.
It's a whole thing.
You don't know.
She almost gets Madame Curie murdered.
Man, I can't.
These are
even
things that
re-
happened to
like,
that episode.
I
can't
stopped watching 'cause I
remember
was
how much I did not.
Pretty
like
sure
this
it's going
show.
to get canceled
It
last
had like
year.
a cool twist at the end of last season that I
Boone
clearly
loved it. We need to get Boone in here for some
There you
timeless
go.
talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how that goes.
Is anybody else cold?
Where are you guys?
I love Boone.
The classics.
I'm glad we had this talk, if for no other reason than now I feel okay canceling Timeless off my list.
Yeah, it's not, dude. It's not going past season 2. I think they know it though, so they might actually be able to wrap the story up if you care. We talked to Grip about Billions.
Yeah,
Billions is back.
Yes, it is.
Wags.
Wags.
Give me more
To
wags.
riches.
Everything. Give me more of everybody in the show.
I
so
fucking love this show.
So good.
So every year we have a show that we love and continue to love, but when season 2 hits, you're not as high on it.
Yeah.
Like it's top 10, then it goes into that's still a great show, but it's not top 10. Like Magicians was for me last year. Still love the Magicians. Season 3 is actually better than 2
Season
though.
3 is back in top 10
Uh,
for me.
I don't know. I've only watched the first like quarter of it, but anyways, there's always that show. I've got a Marathon Riverdale. That could be that show this year. I don't know.
right.
Always will love Riverdale. Just don't know if it'll be that
Man,
high.
people have not been talking about it this year as much.
Its ratings are spectacular.
They got renewed.
It's one of their top 2 shows. Riverdale's doing fine. Also, people are waiting for Netflix. That's where that
Yep.
show excels. But Billions season 2 took that and just ran with it. Season 2
Yeah.
it gets
it
even
was
better.
like, I think it was a top 5 show for me the last 2 years.
It's been
It
my
was up
number
there for
5 the
me.
past 2 years running, but season 2 is easily better than season 1.
Yes,
Uh,
which is saying something,
season 3 starts strong.
dude.
Yeah, it does.
It's good, man.
Love this show, man.
Love that man.
Every character is awesome in this show. Like literally every single one.
Dollar Bill.
Dollar
Dollar
Bill's
Bill's
still pretty great.
No, he's really great. Taylor was actually better. Because I wasn't as high on Taylor as you two
Yeah,
were.
I like
in
Taylor
second
a
season.
lot.
I really like Taylor in this one.
Her finding out about that chips or whatever that.
Just smashing open
yeah.
iPhones.
I like the
Holy
way
shit.
I like the way I don't know how to pronounce her pronoun. I guess
Them.
correctly I should
They.
say
Them.
Okay,
They them.
that's
if
hard
you're
to
talking-
do.
It is.
It is an adjustment that is hard to make. I will give
I was
you.
literally talking because Brittany's never watched the show, or at least definitely not.
They are a
neutral
gender
pronouns.
neutral character.
Yeah, and they are in real life as well,
Yeah,
not just on the show. But anyways,
it's hard.
It
I
is.
just remember Wags putting that fat fuck in his place in the steamer.
Wags is the best.
and she and they're like, "You didn't need to do that. I could have done that for myself." And he's like, "I just needed the release."
Wags would be your favorite character on TV.
He's amazing.
He's
wonderful.
you if you were a stockbroker.
Me?
Yes.
and dialed up
Once upon a
on.
time.
He's
So
an,
imagine
on
Until
you-
cocaine.
right around
Hold on.
1929.
Imagine you on cocaine as a stockbroker,
That
because
is
that's
correct.
wags.
Like constantly on cocaine.
Which I'm pretty sure that dude takes before every take.
He has to.
He is high energy.
last year, him tearing into the guys at the sushi bar about soy sauce.
It's perfectly sauced.
I had forgotten about that line.
oh my god, this show is so fucking.
So
good.
we're getting the fallout of last year of the ice juice scandal,
Right?
which was the worst name.
It really is.
Oh,
that
shit.
business
That's
was-
Gail Bediger from Breaking Bad.
Yep.
How about that?
That must have been past season 2.
It is.
So Bobby is indicted, trying to figure out how to go on. So the whole first episode is more. I mean, the whole show is cat and mouse with him and Paul Giamatti. God, Paul Giamatti's so fucking
he's
good in this.
amazing in this show.
He's a good actor, man.
He's really good. It is
This is the best
baffling,
he's
like
been,
the
though.
some roles that he's taken, like Rhino.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, this is
Money.
easily the best he's been.
I think he's just the guy that like. If
Just
someone else-
enjoys
if
it.
I was a good actor and someone said, "Hey, you want to be in a Spider-Man movie?" I would say, "Fuck yeah."
Has he done anything better though than what his role in Billy? Like, I think he is so
no, this is his
underappreciated.
best.
Like, why is he not getting nominated?
I don't know.
Like, he's
totally
that
agree with you.
good. Like,
Yeah.
I watch it and I'm like, you
Everyone
deserve
on
an
that show is
award.
to me, but
Damian Lewis is almost. I think I put Paul like a hair ahead of him.
I
see, I'm the
wasn't there
opposite, but just they are
before,
one
but
and
I
two.
mean, he plays that role perfectly.
Ex-Axel guy.
And his Giamatti's wife is great as
Maggie
well.
Siff.
Yeah, and
I will say, I think my one complaint about the premiere for this season is that at the end, there's always been this thing of like her being a dominatrix and like that being kind of how
For
he gets his
him,
ro-
that was
yes.
an uncomfortable scene.
Yes, they kind of took it to a level where I was like, I don't know if I want a whole lot of
Well,
this.
I
as
like.
a-
She
I
played it well.
actually-
You could see it. That was hard for her. Like, she was trying to do what he needed, but like she was like
when
this
she was
is
like
talking about
"Are you-"
another
she was
guy
like,
fucking her.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, it was
like, but I mean,
uncomfortable.
the reason that I appreciated that scene is because it really gets into the mindset as to why why that is a thing
Oh,
for him.
I
I'm with
understand
you
its
there,
role.
actually.
Getting into
I was just-
the actual humiliation of it, it's not just like I want to be not dominated, but I'm
That's how
not
he is
happy with
truly
who
punished.
I am. I
Yeah.
do deserve to be punished. And like, yeah, when he's like, I want you to tell me about you being fucked by another man, and like he's like, it's the worst, most deplorable thing I can think of, and
You would
like
like this
I
show.
deserve it.
It sounds like it.
The scheming that goes on,
Is amazing.
just the plans on plans on plans. And,
and,
when
like-
you're waiting on Axe to show up at that dinner, and Taylor walks in, and she's like, I have the silverback fucking gorilla of pitches.
It's like
Yes, she does.
it
God
is-
damn it, I love that.
it's like The Big Short meets The Wolf of Wall Street.
Kinda. Yeah.
It's like it is incredibly good at explaining stock brokerage, and showing the like insanity that can come from that world.
God, I love that show so fucking much.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to watch more of that. I don't watch that one with
Showtime
Jill.
has been killing it for me lately. Like they have had appointment television
The Chi?
every Sunday between The Shy,
I still
this-
need to finish
Homeland this year
Let's
is
leave for the next
fucking
show.
awesome, and then now this like Sunday nights I get really excited to go open the Showtime app.
Let's get Chuck involved. Let's talk about Barry.
Okay, yeah, I'll watch
Oh,
that.
just-
This
Totally
is,
forgot.
this is the last one I haven't seen. I'm sorry.
Hey, me and Chuck.
Hey, dun, 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 dun.
I think
What'd you
the last
think?
one I haven't seen.
It was okay.
I liked it a lot, dude.
It was. I was a little disappointed with it. I was expecting a little bit more funny, I guess,
Yeah.
going into it, and it's not really like laugh out loud kind of funny. There are
You know
there
why?
are some interesting parts.
It's Alex Berg. I didn't know that going in. Who writes Silicon Valley. And when knowing that, I kind of get the humor in it a little bit more.
What is this on?
It's on
HBO.
HBO.
HBO, okay.
It and Silicon Valley actually air back to back.
Okay.
They had like an early premiere, right? Because I don't
Uh,
think they're doing new shows, are they?
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Oh, are they?
If they're not, I'm completely unaware if that's what's happening. This is a show where Bill Hader is a hitman, which is a wonderful role for Bill Hader.
Fair enough.
He's like a depressed dude that used to be in the Marines, and he came back, and he was very depressed and had kind of like PTSD, didn't know what to do with his life. And
Who's this Stephen Root is
Yeah.
his handler.
Dodgeball, Office Space.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
He came in as his
News
uncle.
Radio, sorry.
And I'm sorry, I was never a big news radio guy. Not that I
Man.
didn't like it, I didn't watch it.
News Radio was fantastic.
The first season was.
Also, never really watched that show.
So he offers
where we
it.
got
Basically,
Joe Rogan.
he's his handler. He's his handler as a hitman, but like a D-list hitman. and so it's like a sad hitman life, but he's really good at it. So he gets it on he needs a vacation and like a higher profile hit, so he goes to do like this Chechnyan mafia hit in L.A. and whilst there, he accidentally stumbles into an acting class and decides he wants to be an actor. And then the show's going to kind of spin out from there because he wants to do both. He wants his, all actors are like baristas or something like that while they're trying to get their big break. Well, he's just a hitman. And there are long periods of stuff that's not funny. And then I think Bill Hader, it's not fair for me. That dude could just have a staring contest with me, and I'll be like, you're the funniest fucking person on the planet.
That's fair.
I really liked where he got upset that they took care of his contract for him, and then
the action right there was cool.
Yeah, it was.
It looked like John Wick shooting.
He murdered all those guys, and then just suddenly went into a diner, and that lady's like, "I'm an actress." He's like,
"Me too."
Me too.
You're right. It wasn't as awesome as I wanted the pilot to be, but it laid a nice groundwork. I am very much interested in continuing the show to see how it pans out. Could it flatline? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very interested in the show. I think both of you would be interested in this.
I love Silicon Valley.
It's also a 30-minute, 28-minute show for them. So.
Yeah, I was upset I hadn't gotten a chance to watch it. I love Silicon Valley, so if it even has remotely humor like that, I'm in.
It's very dark comedy.
I haven't had any kind of laugh out loud moments. There's not
I think I had one, and I can't remember
T.J.
what it was,
Miller. Well, that's not a great endorsement.
No, it's not. It's not. That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, no, I mean Henry Winkler's in it. He's
the acting coach.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
I enjoy me some Henry Winkler too.
Yeah, but
because he's like,
that girl was
reads
cute
a line,
too.
He gets yeah, she was. He gets snookered into being an acting partner of the guy he's trying to murder, and he'd been following, and he actually ended up in the same room. He's like, I don't want to do this. So he reads lines, and of course, it gets to his part, and he just reads it super fast. But they clap for him at the end. He's like, oh, I wanted to do this, and he goes to Winkler. He's like, do you think I could be an actor? And he's like, no, God no. He's like, you were awful. It was so good.
That's when he gets into
he breaks down and tells his real story.
And he's like, "What's that from?" He's like, "What?" So you know what? That wasn't bad. You
that
pay
was
up
all
front.
Improv? Yeah. He's like, just pay up front. He's like, it's no problem. I'm looking forward to where this show could go. It's not as it'll never be as funny as what I thought the show was supposed to be.
It's going to wind up being something different than what I thought.
Yeah,
it was.
it's just not what
that's
I thought.
Not a bad.
No,
thing.
but it may be a great show. I need to see more.
Fair enough.
Honest to God, just hadn't seen enough of it yet.
Yeah, I definitely will check that one out then.
Trust.
Yeah. We are on
this
opposite
is
spectrums.
the All the Money in the World TV show. Basically, it's the John Paul Getty show on FX.
FX.
Yeah.
It's Donald Sutherland as John Paul Getty.
Some powerhouse actors have played that man this year.
It's true. I love me some Donald Sutherland. Hilary Swank's in the show. They're very much going for the next The People versus OJ.
How did I miss that man jaw?
I'm not.
Oh wow.
I've watched the first two, and I don't know if she's in the first episode.
Okay, because I only watched the first one.
There are some bigger actors in this. You like the show?
I do. I'm not enamored with it, but I really like it.
So I'm trying to set aside. So I read the reviews after the fact. I went in blind. Really loved All the Money in the World.
Yeah.
This is kind of more over the top take on it a little bit.
Okay. And I didn't see All the Money.
I think my enjoyment of All the Money in the World is affecting my enjoyment of this because I
can see that.
I actually do not like this show.
Yeah. When you shook your head at me, I kind of figured that might come.
So, in Christopher Plummer, his take on John Paul Getty, is very
ruthless,
and you believe he is that dude, and it's hard to get away from it. And you see, Donald Sutherland, you know how he pits people against each other, he's playing those games almost, because he's just an evil son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Those are way more subtle. He absolutely does that with Christopher Plummer, but he's smart about it. People don't know what he's fucking doing, but he's pitting people against each other for his own enjoyment. And this one, he is overtly doing it, and it's way more over the top, and I'm struggling getting on board with it. I love Donald Sutherland, and right now I'm I don't like you, and I think it's just because of what I've already seen.
He looks terrible without a beard.
He looks old, and it made me a little sad.
A shirt.
But yeah, they show him shirtless, and it is. I'm like, you're old, dude.
Yeah. I think so. The one difference in
you almost see his dick.
Like, yeah, you really get close. The one difference in like gleaning what I've seen from the trailers and Christopher Plummer and this is that, yeah, Christopher Plummer feels like a man fully capable. He is like with all his facilities or faculties rather, and is ruthless and is conniving in a way.
Mhm.
And Donald Sutherland's character almost feels doddering, like he's almost feeble,
Yes.
but he's like cutthroat.
Yeah, he's a rich bastard.
Yeah, he is. He's just a person who likes shit his way and has the power to do so. But he does. He feels weak. He feels old and frail, and like he knows he's at the end of his life.
Right.
And I don't. I mean, I appreciate a lot of that performance. I can see where you're coming from without having seen All the Money in the World. It's a little hard to compare.
No, yeah, no, and to be fair, every review that's negative on this is because they're comparing it to Christopher
I was
Plummer.
gonna say, how is it reviewing?
It's in the high 50s,
Okay.
so not terrible, but not
Not
great.
great.
So Christopher Plummer's a better actor than Donald Sutherland, but that's not a huge step down. Donald Sutherland's a great actor.
Indeed.
The leap, and I like this man, but the leap from Mark Wahlberg to Brendan Fraser for that character,
I don't think he's in the first episode either.
yes, he is.
Is he?
Yes. And it is a chasm.
Where?
Brendan Fraser not being goofy is bad.
Oh, I bet.
Where is?
So you
Brendan
go
He's
Fraser?
the guy
chasm-
with the cowboy hat on.
Oh my god!
His
really?
fixture. That's Brendan Fraser.
I need to go back
It's
and
fat
watch.
Brendan Fraser.
So you go chasm over chasm.
Yeah, I've noticed it. I didn't say anything. You don't hear it very often.
It's not quite as noticeable as like pinch, but you know.
Pinch.
When I hear
Chasm's
chasm, I think of
is
Chaz,
an accepted
the
version of that,
Big
is-
Brother in Weird Science.
Chaz?
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I've never said chasm. I know that probably
Oh,
more
yeah.
people say chasm, but yeah, I've always been a
Seems
chasm guy.
British. Do you say aluminium
Aluminium.
for
Instead
aluminum?
of aluminum, the
Oh no, I do not. That
Okay.
sounds stupid.
well,
All right.
the UK
Fuck
lost
those
an
people.
ally.
Don't
today.
worry, they're not even top 5 countries for us. Just don't insult the Cambodians, please.
That's fair.
Hey, Cambodians.
Uh,
They're number 4.
So are you going to continue
Yay.
Trust?
I think I might give it another 2 episodes.
That's fair. I'm going to cut it, but
It's a very specific number of episodes.
Because I like the first one.
1.67.
I get where he's coming
I
from,
like
though.
the first one. If the
There you
second
go.
one kind of falls flat for
That's
me,
fair.
I would like to give it another chance.
Okay.
So 3 episodes I feel is fair.
So, all right, that's going to do it for our What You Watching. So, finish shows. Let me
Aw.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did
let's
I miss
skip it.
I watched Silicon Valley.
Oh, shit. I did skip over. I'm sorry. Yeah, I watched Silicon
Okay.
Valley. Let's talk about Silicon Valley.
What do you think this year?
It was solid.
Right?
It's a good opening.
I think it's
It
good.
was funnier than most episodes from last year.
I like that they didn't just ignore Ehrlich.
Yeah, so Gene Yang's
It's the
purpose.
best part of the premiere.
Gene Yang's purpose in this whole season is going to be to try and get Ehrlich pronounced dead.
Yeah, he wants to prove
So he can
Ehrlich
be
is
owner of
dead
the
so
house.
He can own the house and 10% of Pied Piper.
He has a handwritten note from Ehrlich in his very
broken
English, and he's written with Ehrlich's last name first because it's the Chinese way.
He
He
says
takes
I
it to a
bought
lawyer.
Ehrlich."
He's like, he wrote me a letter.
and it's the same.
The whole
like,
purpose of this whole year is to try and get Ehrlich Botman pronounced dead.
Yeah, and at the end of the
Botman
first
Ehrlich, actually.
episode, he's like, "It's very expensive to get a body from China."
Yeah, he's totally trying to ship in cadavers. He's like, I bought cadaver.
He's
That's
like,
fantastic.
he's like, it's even more expensive to get white body from China and switch. Oh, because he's talking about switching boxes because of the pizza app, and he's like, it's too expensive to switch boxes.
There is nothing. There is a new best part of the show, though.
Go ahead.
The stallions.
I love this.
So
They are few, but they are magnificent.
they're trying to hire coders. Like, they finally got their funding, and before it falls apart again,
Right.
Pied Piper is finally moving forward, and so they need 12 coders to start what they're going to do, and of course Camille and
Guilfoyle.
Guilfoyle are being super picky, just
Sure.
because that's who they are in the show,
Right.
and they won't hire anybody. And they're like, and Richard's like, "Come the fuck on, we have to hire people." And they're like, "Oh, we have the." They're like,
We have the stallions.
"We have the stallions," and every time they say the stallions, it cuts to these 3 hardcore nerds working as fucking hard as they can, and they never talk. It's always them 2 inches from a computer, going. like just typing intently.
And you always
then it cuts to them, and they always cross their arms and stand up and like gaze upon them with pride every time.
They
And
always
it does.
be like,
It
yeah.
goes through that well like 6 times in the
It's
premiere.
funny
and
every
it's
time, though.
amazing. So the company's doing well again for now until it bottoms out again.
Yeah, so like an
Richard
episode or
has-
two from now.
Like
No, he's the worst part of the
he's
show
been
still.
less Richard this time, though. I get where you're
For
coming from.
now.
But yes, for right now, he has been the one trying to move forward. He's been
Still the worst part, but it was better than any part of last year where
What a-
he was unbearably bad.
One of my favorite scenes was, I mean, Gavin has also been like back on the
Gavin's
like,
funny again.
warpath of just trying to fuck over Pied Piper, and so he has just been over.
When he fires that girl-
single... yeah, he's like, "Don't be like Patrice."
He's like, we're very glad to have Patrice back in here, and she's great. And then he still goes into pitch, and she's like, but all those were moneymakers. And he goes, and calls over security, whispers in his ear. He's like, Patrice, why don't you come outside for a little bit?
It's
Then he comes
amazing.
out, and he's like, don't end up like Patrice. Like,
But-
it's all in the span of like 30 seconds. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
But yeah, Gavin has been basically he's been just going through and hiring and overpaying every single coder in the valley so that Pied Piper can't hire anybody.
OJ
and-
having a panic attack was amazing.
Yes, but he wants. He's like, I'm really good at hiding it, but I'm having a panic attack right
Like
now.
they have all the seed money and like so, but Richard's terrified of blowing through the money like their other previous stuff had gone through. So he gets them this tiny workspace with all these people, and
It's like it's just a
it's
white
the
room.
whitest room you've ever seen.
It's echoey.
Oh,
like-
it's like Trey's Peyton Manning jersey.
Yeah, exactly. It is the room version of that Peyton Manning jersey.
and everybody gets like super angry, and Richard's like, "You put my desk here, and maybe Dinesh here, and
And
Guilfoyle
Camille
here."
just immediately, are you fucking kidding me? And it goes on, and like, because he's like Richard, or he's Jared, back me
is
up
like-
with this, and he's like, I'm hiding it very well, but I'm having a panic attack right now, and then every like 20 seconds you can hear Richard swallow.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
hear him go,
super loud.
"Mm."
That's
And
when
they're
he's
like-
trying to address all the coders. At
Camille's
the
like,
end.
I'm gonna kill you. This was funnier than probably any episode from last year.
I will
Hey,
give you that.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, there you go. Brendan.
I see it now. But the scene where he's got
Encino
like
Man.
all the coders that
Yeah.
that Gavin
Cowboy
hired
version.
out from under them, except for alt-right guy.
Yeah, that was funny.
But who turned into super alt-right guy.
Slash line was also
Yeah,
funny.
where he tries to get them all to work on fucking Jack Barker's box again, and they're just like,
Box 2.0.
Oh
what
my
if we
God.
don't want to work on that? And like his subtle realization that he is just antiquated in all technology, and they're like, what if we actually wanted to work on the decentralized internet, and everything you're trying to make right now is going to be obsolete if Pied Piper does what they want, and him like freaking out about it.
He just fires like 80 people.
It's great. Oh no, he's like, just go walk around the campus until you're vested in 4 years.
How
I
much
don't
Russ
give a shit.
Hanneman has been in
Zero
this?
so far.
Zero so far, yeah.
Cut.
You guys kind of shallowed this episode.
Probably.
Oh yeah, we did. Didn't
I
we?
enjoyed it a
My
lot.
bad. My
You're
bad.
fine.
That has
I'm not
become
gonna
a
watch it.
verb, like an active verb too.
Proud of you.
I don't. Okay,
Proud of you.
All right,
I'm
sorry.
not sure I want
So
that.
finish
Fine,
shows.
I just realized I was like,
Would you three guys like to discuss Everything Sucks, or do you want to wait a week for me to watch
let's
it?
wait a week. We have.
I'm not
shit
gonna
ton
finish
still to
that.
cover too. I just realized.
Everything
I forgot we
Sucks?
have movies too.
You already
The-
finished it. You
the
loved
90s.
the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought End of the Fucking World. My bad. Yes,
no,
let's finish.
No one's finishing that show.
Okay.
No one hates himself that much.
Sorry, my bad.
So
Yeah, we
you mind to
can.
wait?
Yeah, we can wait.
Okay. Ultra Carbon, should we wait? You dicks?
I'm not saying I'm gonna watch it at this point. I'm not gonna make you that promise, but I also don't care if we talk about it tonight.
I
Because of
promise I will watch it.
Okay,
before the
I'll
next
wait
show.
then. Because here's my thing: it's so rare that that any of us have a show that is a top 10 contender that no one else is high on, and like that show ended up
I
getting me.
liked
So
the
I
first
don't
episode.
get why no one fucking cares about this show.
It's
It's
just,
got a strong contender for character of the year in it for
It's
me.
just slow.
The
man.
hotel manager,
Poe.
he is amazing.
He's incredible.
That show gets
also
so much better.
There
in the
is
second half,
just
too.
a
like way better.
serious like bald snatch in a hologram form.
Yeah,
all
It's
right.
incredible.
that cop. She's the worst part of the show. Acting
she is fine. Like
Mhm.
she
passionate.
is so hot.
Yeah.
My God, she's so hot.
she reminds me of Madani in Punisher.
Yes, correct. God, I love the Punisher. And basically none of these other shows, except for let's talk about Jessica Jones, because you're not going to watch that anyways.
Not even remotely.
Hey, I finished this.
You did. You both finished that, and as did I. So one.
Are we still waiting on Mindhunters? Is someone?
Yeah, I'm
still...
sorry I couldn't get to it.
That's fine. I just didn't
that's
know
on
if that
me.
was-
You're waiting on me for that.
That's totally fine. I'm just happy to talk about the show at some point. It's awesome.
Valor and Narcos goes on every show until I actually watch them.
Fair enough. Yeah, Jessica Jones. I think I'm slightly higher on it than you guys, but I think we all agree it's not nearly as good as season 1.
We were the same until about 2 episodes left.
Man, the last third.
Yeah, I think
It's bad.
I hate Trish. God, I hate
I didn't
Trish.
get it, man. I was
She's the worst.
she had some bad parts, like going through.
Serious bad parts.
But it was like Foggy level. Like it's bad, but it's not like offensively bad.
that's fair.
God,
the
even
end-
Foggy is just like, whoa, he's up.
The end is so bad for Trish. Like it's like I was like, oh, just kill her. I was like, get her off the screen. It was so like she became one of the most unlikable characters.
Are we spoiling? Spoilers?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's talk.
There's
about
no
spoilers.
reason for her to kill her mom like that. There's
It
no
was
reason.
weird. I will 100% grant you that.
It came out of nowhere.
It is also like the exclamation point at the end of like this, the biggest issue I have with the show, which is that there is never a point where everyone is fucking happy with each other. It is just constantly people being like, all right, you're cool. Actually, you know what? I fucking hate you. And then,
Yes.
like just over and over and over. And I was like, for the love of God, someone like another person
Like,
on the show. for
Jessica-
more than an episode.
Jessica is great. She's
Yeah.
a great character.
She
She's
keeps shitting on that black guy though, and I'm just like,
Yes,
good.
exactly.
Thank you for leaving, please.
and he
Yeah.
does, and he's actually still my favorite character on the show. I
I like that kid
Yeah,
a lot.
love that dude.
Yeah.
I like him. I like that he's clean now. Jerry Hogarth is actually really great too.
Yes, she is, but
yeah.
her story is pointless. There's no point. It doesn't relate to Jessica almost at all.
No, it almost feels like that's setting up for something going on else later on
Maybe.
in the in
but
that
that's
universe.
not what I
But
watched
that
Jessica Jones
doesn't-
for.
I mean, and agree. I don't hate Iron Man 2 as much as a lot of people, but the biggest gripe with that movie is it forgets about its own story because to do Avengers setup. I think maybe there is some stuff going on with this,
Maybe,
but
God,
some of it is
I
bad.
hated that part. I really appreciate.
Why is that other private eye guy there?
Which one? The
Sure.
Asian guy?
The
Yes.
Asian. Why
Yes.
is he there?
I have no idea.
What purpose did that guy serve?
Pretty much no.
It's raining.
Yeah, it is.
Hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Man, you guys are making me kind of dislike the season more than I thought.
I liked it a lot.
There's just
until the last third of it. It's just not good TV.
There is a
dude.
lot of story threads that like most of them just kind of dangled.
Like,
Like
I
they
knew-
didn't close anything up. and
like
some
I
of them were
guessed that it was a
pointless.
family member doing like the beginning, the first half of the show. I was very intrigued. I kind of guessed it was a family member because they kept going to that well about her family. I was like, well,
Right.
that's what makes sense, and I was
Yeah.
okay with it. And when her mom actually came in, I was like, well, this isn't like I'm not getting Purple Man, which is one
Sure.
of Marvel overall's best villains
or
on
Black Man for Josh.
Purple Drink.
I've just been over here quiet, man.
Yeah, and I'm proud of
I'm
you.
sorry. I couldn't help it.
I mean, that's one of the best villains in the MCU.
Correct,
And I was like, well,
when he shows up, it was awesome.
yeah,
It was the best 2 episodes of the season.
I mean, it was awesome because David Tennant is awesome in that role.
but it made no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
correct.
sitting here like, you guys are just doing this so
Just
you
bring
can
him
have
back.
Purple Man in it.
yes.
Turns out in the comics,
actually didn't like
he's
the actual
immortal, so
decision.
just bring him back.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
we found that out this year.
Oh.
He can't die.
Think that was because of this show?
Maybe. I don't know. Although again, they've actually teased that maybe the only way he can die is if he decides he should die. He tells himself to die, basically.
Interesting.
Are you reading Jessica Jones currently?
No, I'm not.
That
Spoilers.
would be a no.
It's all good.
It's one of Bendis' last books.
He's gonna
I just
forget.
am behind. So behind.
That's actually it. The Jessica Jones comic right now is a top 5 book for me in Marvel. Like, it's fucking
I'm
incredible.
reading Avengers. I'm almost done with
No
this
Surrender?
No Surrender stuff. I'm on like 6. Anyway, we'll talk about
yeah.
that later.
Yeah. So they should just bring Purple Man back because he's awesome. David Tennant is wonderful as that,
Yes.
and it's great. Or there's plenty of other people to choose from. The mom wasn't the best choice, but it was fine. It was working, and then it just didn't. They didn't know how to wrap it up, so they had Trish kill her for no reason.
And out of nowhere. And then her explanation for it was just incredibly
Yeah.
thin. There was just a lot of times during the scene I was like, what is going on? Why is this happening?
Because why would they make Trish? I mean, I guess this is leading to her becoming Hellcat, which is kind of just a comedy character now. There was a time that was a serious
Oh, when
character.
she balanced
She's a
the-
schoolgirl.
The phone, like at the end, the phone on her
Yeah,
foot
she's
or
becoming
whatever.
Hellcat. which is a character, and they're going to take it serious as fuck, evidently, which is fine. But you don't have to do all this. Like, she just becomes a superhero. But they have her taking nukes, basically his reds.
Oh my god, it's awful.
Yeah.
And then she suckers the black guy into taking it too, and I'm like, why did you do that?
The back and forth with those two is also like really frustrating. I will say,
I wish they
I
didn't kill
still
Nuke, man.
He got killed
That
hard.
was actually a great scene. I was just saying it's going because I like the character of Nuke, especially that guy's portrayal of it. I thought it was a more down to earth, like cool portrayal of it. That,
Yeah, he seemed like he was wanting to turn it around. At least.
Yeah.
He did.
I still think I like this more than Luke Cage season 1, though.
I do too.
I also do, but it's
The first half of Luke Cage is better than most of this, but as a whole, I still like Jessica Jones season 2 better than
I will
Luke
agree
Cage.
with that statement.
the last fight scene between Diamondback and Luke Cage
It's one of the
ruins
worst
that.
things I've ever
It
seen.
ruins the entire season.
I
It is
actually
worse
like
than
Iron
Trish
Fist.
shooting
I like
Yes.
Iron
It is.
Fist better than I like Luke Cage, and Iron Fist is not very good.
That's
Finn Jones
sad.
is the worst part of the MCU, without a doubt. But without him, that season is not the worst.
Yeah.
But sadly, he's the main character.
I still like Jessica Jones season 2 more than Iron Fist season 1 too, though.
Yes,
I do,
too.
absolutely.
I do too.
But that doesn't make it good.
No.
Yeah, but that squarely puts it at the third from the bottom spot on the Netflix MCU stuff.
I agree with you.
Just below Defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That seems right.
Yeah, I'm with that. Both seasons.
Sorry, Lord.
Both seasons
is
of
way higher.
Daredevil, Jessica Jones season 1, and Defenders and Punisher are
Punisher,
are
baby.
all
Oh, yeah.
above that.
Oh my god.
All right, movies. So we watched a lot of movies, and if they were talked about for the 2017 awards, we're not going to talk about them anymore.
Okay.
Because we have plenty of other movies.
Yeah.
You
You had your chance.
Josh.
Fuck you,
Yes.
2017.
Let's talk about some A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay.
I also saw this.
I know, but I'm excited to talk with Josh about it.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
No, I mean, I know where I
You
sit.
aggressively hate this movie.
I know where I sit. I know where Evan sits. I'm not going to get upset about it.
He likes it more than I do.
I
I do.
legitimately think, and I'm not being hyperbolic in any way, this is one of the 10 least enjoyable experiences I've ever had in a movie theater.
Like,
Like,
I am more like flabbergasted of why you hate it that much.
I believe you when you say that,
it was,
but you also say it enough that I have to make
I've
myself
never said
believe
something
that.
like that. Like, I mean, yeah, I've said like one of
say
my 10
never?
least favorite movies or anything, but like I'm serious. Like I felt trapped in that theater. I could have left anytime I wanted, but I just didn't. So to me, like this movie
committed.
Gotta
is
get that $2 worth out.
I'd pay for a movie pass movie. I fucking better damn well watch it. Like to me, I get the praise that you give the main girl. She's not a bad actress.
Oh, I think she's actually a very
Especially
good actress.
for how old she is, I feel like she's a very good actress.
She's
She
the best part of that movie.
stands alone as the lone good performance in this movie. Maybe Chris Pine, but he's in it for like all of 13 seconds.
Pine's fine in this
Yeah,
movie.
To me, so the world is semi-intriguing. I think that it's a cool idea for a plot device in a fantasy realm in terms of like a world that posits that we can just through the thought process or by accessing certain emotions and certain feelings travel incredibly large distances interdimensionally basically from one part of the galaxy to the other. Like that's a cool idea. I feel as though the movie just horrifically stumbles its way from scene to scene in a way that isn't enjoyable.
So I gave you some shit about Ava DuVernay earlier. I think she did a lot of things good, but I also think she was part of the problem.
I think she was
The
one
show
of the
has
bigger
some
problems.
pacing
Yeah.
major
Like,
issues.
so the first third of this movie, which is apparently the majority of the plot of the movie, is just like, I mean, there feels like there's no narrative tissue from scene to scene. It feels like there's very little explanation and very little thought put into the dialogue behind it. It's just like, here's this quirky little kid that we're going to call by his first and last name for the entire movie. And here's this girl who's upset that her dad disappeared. And then Charles Wallace is going to introduce them to Reese Witherspoon. And I finally saw the bump in her forehead, and I couldn't not look at it the whole movie. It's there.
It
and
is
it's
there.
impressive.
She has like an alien from Aliens in that thing.
And then like she's going to say some quirky ass shit. And then we're going to
She was my
introduce
least
you.
favorite part of this movie.
We're
I
gonna
will grant you that.
we're gonna introduce you
Mine
to
too.
the actual worst part of this movie, which is Mindy Kaling, who only speaks in quotes for no real reason aside from just she wants to.
It's in the book.
Also, it's the book.
I mean, I get that, but like, there's no.
I mean, they were
real
going to change like the way she
It's cool
spoke.
for it's cool for kids,
There's
dude.
like
When I was
very
13, that was so
explanation
fucking
as to
cool.
why. I think it's because she thinks that there's nothing she can say that hasn't already been said better or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes,
And like, it just
I
it all
explained
comes
that
off.
pretty well. I feel like.
It all comes off as like really weird and cheesy, and then like in like the span of 5 minutes, maybe they access the ability to travel to other worlds. 50-foot Oprah is there, and then they're on the surface of
There's
this.
some exposition that happens.
They're on the
There
surface
is.
of this alien
Not much,
planet,
but-
and then within like the next few seconds, they're flying on the back of Reese Witherspoon dragon.
That's all fair.
Like,
So-
I just don't.
So
for
let me tell you here's what's wrong with this movie. It's a bad adaptation.
Okay.
It is a bad adaptation.
I've never read the book, but
I love the book. When I was young, this was my favorite book.
And that's why I feel bad about hating it as much as I do, because I understand what it feels like when you have an investment in a source material.
Yeah, it hadn't been an awesome past 12 months.
It's
for
been
me.
a very bad 12 months.
Um,
Well, no, I mean we.
I like Dark Tower,
Yeah.
but I mean, as an adaptation, it sucks.
Yes.
I don't even look at it as an adaptation. I look at it as a different chapter of it.
right.
They cram from the parts of what is from the book in this is crammed into about a third of this movie, and then the rest of it is way too long of setup. What I think is right is the visuals are stunning
Yeah,
in
they
this
are.
movie.
I will give you that. I don't like the design of a lot of the stuff, but
Well, that's personal choice, though.
Yeah.
The actual
The
like rendering
actual-
of it is incredible. I think
yes. Aside from I don't.
the world felt very alive and vibrant to me. I like the look of all of it. I think this is a very good kids movie that does not translate super well to adults. And I think it translates worse to me because I was a fan of the book. I think Trey actually would be better because you have not read the book.
Right.
It's like to me, like the thing is,
There's a lot of wonder in this movie
I
with
s-
a lot of like movie problems as far as like pacing and storytelling.
like I skew younger with a lot of the stuff that like I like a lot of things that are definitely tailored towards kids. It just
You
didn't
like a lot
work
of
for
stuff that's
me.
tailored for young adults. This is tailored for kids. And
yeah, Harry Potter is not the same demographic as Wrinkle in Time.
And I
Or at least not
appreciate
the
and
movie.
understand that. I get that. It's
So-
just go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
So haven't read the book, so have no like. I didn't even know really what the plot of this movie was going to be because I didn't know what the plot of the book was. And of course, I took Lane with me to see it, who's my 9-year-old. So like, I feel like I have a slightly different perspective. Lane fucking adored this movie. Like he loved it.
kids are really liking it.
yeah. And then like I appreciated it. Like it's certainly not gonna be like a top 10 movie or anything for me. Like I didn't like it to that level.
It was
but
like a 5.5 or a 6 to me.
I would give it like a 6.5. So right in there. I mean, it's not gonna be like
It's not a
Holy
great
shit.
movie, but I don't
But
aggressively hate it.
my
I guess
biggest
would be where I would be
issue.
at.
My biggest issue with it is that I actually feel like I would be higher on it if they would have made this 3 movies. Like if they would have made this a trilogy, even if they had, I'm sure that, I don't know how long the book is.
Well, they
It's
cram a
clearly kid's
lot
book.
into, like I said.
Man, if like we could have just like got some expansion on some stuff because it really does start to like it's kind of like, oh, we're at the end of the movie, shit. Like,
Well, and that
like
was
we didn't really. I feel like we could have gone on a ton of adventures with these
you
like
could have.
3 ladies.
You missed out on some adventures.
Yeah. And like that to me is where this
that's
falls
never fun.
apart.
that was my biggest
You're
like
always
one of
gonna
the
go in the
biggest parts of
Yeah.
or problems I have with the movie as well.
But
It's
I
just,
didn't mind any of
like,
the performances, including Charles Wallace.
oh,
Like
man.
I loved every bit of the visuals in this.
The Charles Wallace, like, and I get
and I-
he's a kid, so I don't want to like completely shit on him, but it's just like he doesn't know. It feels like as a human being, that kid doesn't know how to talk without yelling.
I mean, he's like a 6-year-old.
And-
You know,
and I-
he doesn't know how to talk
And
without
like I
yelling.
said, I'm not trying to shit on him. It's just it for me, and I don't have a child, so I don't have
Yeah,
the patience for it.
That
It
is
was incredibly grating.
he is a super, especially of like that type of child. And there are some times where he like legitimately yells, but not all. Especially when he like turns evil or whatever towards the end. It is. I think he actually does a pretty solid job for however old he is. But yeah, I also liked the message of it. I mean, it's cheesy at times, but like again, delivered to my 9-year-old kid, like I very much appreciate the very straightforward, like very positive message that this movie gave.
That's
And
fair.
Which is
perfectly
basically
fine.
like be happy
Yeah.
with yourself no matter
Yeah, I mean, it's
what anybody else thinks.
perfectly fine. Like I said, it's certainly one of my, or it is the least favorite movie that I've seen so far this year, and like I'm glad you guys enjoy parts of it. It's just for me, it's
That's totally fine.
One of
Josh,
my
there's a
least
few
favorite
I can get
movies
through
on
them real quick.
Let me tell you this. Because we had to wait a month, we had so much news. In 2 weeks, now we're back on a regular schedule. We won't. I will make sure we don't have as much news. Let's push them to next time. And I promise you get to talk about them.
Which ones are we talking about?
Gringo, Love Simon, Death of Stalin.
I wanted to talk
Let me
about
let you
Death of
talk about it
Stalin
next time.
so
You
bad.
nailed it. That's the one I wanted to talk
I
about.
know
That's
it.
the
I know it is.
one.
But let me let you talk about it. And I'm also going to do
We can
that
talk
to
Gotham by
to
Gaslight.
Chuck on Gotham by Gaslight.
Catholic.
So you go ahead and talk about Thoroughbreds, though. I do want to hear about
Okay.
that. That is one of the more relevant
Yeah.
movies right now.
Thoroughbreds is one of those movies that just has like absolutely grown on me as well. Like, so this is
Yeah, you were kind of lukewarm at best on this when you left the theater.
the more you sit
Tori
on
really
it,
liked
the
it.
more it kind of gets into your head. It's like it really is. It's just like an earworm. Like you just keep thinking about it. It's incredibly dark.
Mhm.
It's a dark comedy of sorts, but it's really just a twisted, weird ass movie. I think I'm in love with Olivia Cook. I'm
a big fan
She's
of her.
fantastic in this.
Is
movie.
that Emma? She's in this too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's awesome, man.
She's great, and like to see
She's
her
blowing up.
very jovial in
Oh, that's
the other
unfortunate.
movie we're going to talk about, and in this movie. So basically, the premise of this movie is Anya Taylor-Joy, who's the blonde girl from The Witch, and she's been in like a whole bunch lately.
She's going to be in New Mutants.
Yeah, she
Whenever
is.
it comes out.
She is just a spoiled brat rich kid who hates her stepfather, and is essentially hoodwinked into tutoring or assisting with one of her childhood friends. It's revealed very early in the movie that character, Olivia Cook, literally feels no emotion. She has never felt emotion. She doesn't know what it is. She's just incredibly good at
she's
faking
like
it.
that.
She could play that role good, too.
She,
I can just see
dude,
that.
She nails it. And essentially throughout the movie, Olivia Cook's character convinces her to kill her stepfather.
Oh.
Like, and the whole movie is the premise of how they're going to kill the stepfather, how they would get away with it, the very like absolute bluntness of it all. This is the last movie Anton Yelchin was in.
Oh, man, that's sad.
Man, he is
It's okay, Trey.
I just don't want to get bit.
amazing in this movie. It's the best he's
That's just a
been.
big mosquito.
He plays
mayfly.
this just
Won't hurt.
real
I thought it
skeevy
was a mosquito.
dropout like drug dealer who I guess had sex with an underage girl prior, so he's just like a real asshole. It's who they try and convince to actually kill the stepfather.
Anton Yelchin was kind of typecast as that a lot.
Yeah, he's got like a real ratty beard that's like thinning.
It's sad.
and,
I like
man,
that kid,
He's
man.
really good, and he's really
Yeah.
good in this role. But I
Green
just
Room
think,
was really good.
yeah, it's just one of those movies that like it's incredibly well directed. Everybody who turns in a performance is great. There's like maybe 8 people in the movie.
Are
There's
people in the movie who don't turn in a performance?
I mean, turned in a great performance.
Was
Sorry.
Dane DeHaan in it?
No, Dane DeHaan is not in the movie.
You know
There's
that
one scene that is like a high school type party, but the thing I appreciate most, without getting into spoilers, is they don't shy away. Like the character, Anya Taylor-Joy's character, who wants to get rid of her stepfather, is really just a bad person, and she has to like come to grips with the fact, or it is revealed that she's not the victim in this. The stepfather isn't the world's worst human being, and she is just a spoiled rich brat who wants to get her way. And like it's a really interesting character study that I just keep thinking about. You had a question, Chuck?
Yeah, is that Alfie Theon kid, is he like the evil version of the Anton guy?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the important questions.
Yeah,
Really.
from Game
Clearly.
of Thrones.
Yeah.
Alfie. He's evil.
Okay.
He was
Like,
like,
oh, is he
he's-
Anton? Is he
he's
like
kinda
Mirror
like
the
Universe
bizarro
Anton
he's
Yelchin?
like kind
Anton
of
Yelchin,
dirt faced Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, kind of. His eyes are really buggy.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it.
Good. I want to see. I will see this movie eventually.
Yeah, but the
Same here.
Anton Yelchin guy is like the non like mutated form of Doug Jones.
That 100% fair, actually.
I guess.
Doug Jones is a good actor though.
Yeah, he is.
Did anyone watch Game Over, Man?
Nope.
Okay, let's push that. I do still want
The
to watch
Netflix
that.
movie. Man,
Yes.
it got panned.
It did, but most people I talked to actually enjoyed it. So
I also don't like the workaholic.
Watch the
guys.
other one though. The damn it, the National Lampoon's one. The
Oh yeah. You know what? So
Oh,
let me
Feud
remind
on-
me to put
Feud
that on
on-
the list, and I will put that. Yeah, Feud on Stupid Gesture.
yeah,
I actually would like to watch that.
Yeah, I want
really
to watch
good.
that.
you should. It's awesome. The end is surprising because I'm not super familiar with that story.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm very
It's good
interested. In
stuff.
that. I'll put that on the list for next time. Can you talk about Pacific Rim 2 without spoiling it?
Yeah.
Because I'm very much going to go see
There's
this movie.
not much to spoil in it, really.
Yeah, not really.
Robots fight aliens?
There's one big thing I wouldn't want to spoil, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's
John Boyega good?
he is.
He's good in the appreciation of somebody who's trying to play Idris Elba's son. Like,
Yeah,
he hits that role pretty much.
he gives an inspiring speech at one
yeah.
point.
That a boy.
I think, yeah, he does. I think the thing with this movie, and,
Is he war ready?
War's ready.
thank God that song is not in the movie. But like, I think the thing that I most appreciated, because you or Trey, you and I both came out of this not really liking the first one and pretty much enjoying the hell out
So
of
if I
this
really
one.
like the first one, will I love this one?
I don't know
Probably.
how it'll go, but I would imagine so.
I would have to imagine as well. Like, it's just this movie is. It's what they did, and this is not going to be something that I'm trying to say for you to actually get you to like it, but it's what they did with Power Rangers that I appreciated in terms of, no, they realized they had a movie that just needs to be fun, and they leaned into it. Whether you think Power Rangers
Except
did
they
that or not,
succeeded.
they do the same thing. They just realize this movie doesn't need to take itself seriously.
Yeah,
It is giant
Power Rangers
robots.
does not do that, to be fair. They definitely didn't take themselves too serious.
And this one does it just with incredibly good special effects. I do
Anyway.
too, but like incredibly good special effects, a lot of fun giant robot fighting. Like, I really, really enjoyed this one. I did not like the first one.
yeah. They're like it
Less
gets-
downtime
gets
in this
us-
one?
Yes, but there is a little bit of downtime at the beginning, but
You
not
have to have
much.
some
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of-
but in a lot of like, there's a very quick like primer. Like even if Wayne hasn't seen the first one, literally didn't know there was a first one.
Did it matter?
No, because they literally explain everything in
Like
like
the
a.
first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it
it's just
here's
a-
what happened.
This
It's a very
is-
like
great.
Lord of the Rings opening.
we are
type
also
thing.
the foreign market for this because China goes
yeah.
ballistic for
Yes.
this. It's the only reason we have a second
Man,
one.
it is and they like do some things because it's obviously somewhat transformery in that there's giant robots, but it does the things that the Michael Bay Transformers don't do. Like there's very distinct
Distinguish it.
colors and like styles of robots. So you
and
can
if
tell
they
them
do
apart.
distinguish them, it's not in a racist way.
Yeah. True
correct.
story.
Um,
Like-
some of the weapons on the new like Jaegers are bad ass.
Yeah,
There's
they
one in
do.
Hey, I know
particular-
that guy. Friend of the podcast.
Yeah, Jaeger.
They do. They do
I
some
forgot
cool stuff
about
with
that.
the weapons. I actually could have stood to use a little bit more of like the kids training stuff because that actually
Yeah.
kind of. I had like an Ender's Game vibe from that feel. Like
very
from
much
that.
so,
Man, I love Ender's Game.
Yeah.
dude. I think you're gonna like this movie.
I know I will. I love the first one.
I will, and I usually like Charlie Day, but I will agree with
Yeah.
Josh.
Awesome.
Charlie Day
Does
is
have eyes.
easily the
I love
only
Charlie
bad-
Day and the first Pacific Rim. He is awful in
He's
the first
worse in
Pacific
this
Rim. Is that
one.
other guy in it again?
Yes.
Yeah, and
His
he's
helper.
also
He's worse than Charlie Day.
I like him much
Negative
better
Zone
this
Crispin
time.
Glover.
Holy shit!
That is fair.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
what
the
he-
most
It's what he
accurate
looks.
thing.
He's like crippled Glover.
Oh man,
That's wrong, but good.
it is the most
He's
accurate
got,
thing.
he's
ever.
got a little Defoe in him too.
He does a little bit. He's like this strange love child between those two really weird looking people.
And Francis.
That's
McDormand.
probably happened before.
But yeah, like even like, and without spoiling anything, like there's just a scene, like a couple of scenes toward the end where Charlie Day is just really blatantly standing in front of a green screen, like shouting just there if the camera is here, and it's just bad.
And, like, yeah,
It's terrible.
it is the only part of the movie where I was like, oh, this sucks. And luckily it only lasts for a few minutes.
5,
It's not
10 minutes. Yeah, it's not
Alright.
bad.
but that movie's real good.
You can tell they absolutely leaned into the China thing even more than the first one.
Yeah.
It's almost the Martian level of China's like the big linchpin in a way. Like
A lot of it, yeah, it takes
Yeah.
place in China.
yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Let's talk about Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
Okay,
You saw this
Um,
one.
I did.
Well, I was gonna say don't spoil it, but then I remembered
played
it's
the
just,
game.
It's just the video game,
For
so
the most part.
More
it's still
or
about
less.
Himiko, but they changed a little bit. But
I'm
yeah,
sure they
she didn't have all her friends on the island like in this one.
Yeah,
So.
it is a more solo adventure.
I
except
was
for
hoping for
incredibly
Jonah, though.
buff Asian man.
Who I was hoping was Jonah. He kind of was, but
It's a little bit more grounded too, as far as like the supernatural things, why they can and
I-
can't leave the
Gotcha.
I
island.
appreciated
It explains
what they
Himiko
did
better.
there.
Yeah,
I really appreciated the way that they kind of twisted the ending to be more grounded.
so this movie got like panned a little bit. But for what I was expecting, I mean, it's in the 50s on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a win for me. I think.
I
And
agree. It's
yeah.
just still not the like breakout video
it's
game
not
movie
the
we
one.
still need at some point.
I have no idea what it's going to be or how it's going to be.
Or-
Like,
at this point, I'm wondering if it's going
I
to
am
be.
kind of in the same way. If somebody throws a huge budget and like a multi-picture deal behind like a Mass Effect movie,
Or Halo or
absolutely,
something,
like
maybe,
that,
yeah.
Halo's.
Listen, if this was called something else, it'd be in the 70s.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's because it's got
That's
Tomb
why-
Raider in the
That's
name.
the main reason I say that.
It's
if
good
it ever
acting.
happens.
It's excellent action. Some of the dialogue is a little
Cheesy,
off.
you know,
Yeah.
on point.
Yeah,
It-
for
it's
a video
basic
game, and
action
some of
movie
that stuff was like kind of wedged into that.
It
I
was.
think, but man, some of the stuff like when she's by herself after she's already like
Some of that stuff is wedged into that stuff.
Just you doing that reminded me of
Right in this region here.
exactly.
not so much here.
I used to take bear claws 2 at a time as a kid. They get sloshed.
Anyway,
The airplane scene is great.
The airplane scene was great. The force scene was great when she finally lands and she's got to take that that metal
Yeesh.
spike out of
Yeah.
it. I mean, she
Because that game is
conveys-
brutal, man. Like some of the spots, like
is.
getting the rocks in the river and all
going.
that stuff.
Yeah, man, it was good, man.
Walton Goggins is fun. He's
He's
not
a lot
the
of
best
fun.
he's ever been, but he is definitely a lot of fun. As
Who's
well.
that
It's
Asian
not
dude?
justified.
Is that Sonny? What's his name?
That's the guy from Into the Badlands.
It is Sonny from Into the Badlands.
Yeah. And I love him.
I do too.
He's good in this movie.
He's very good. I think that guy's going to get a lot of work.
Yeah.
Man, Nick Frost is not in this movie very much.
No,
Nope.
thankfully, and honestly, like I mean, I
I
like Nick
love
Frost
this character.
a lot, but it's
Oh,
just,
she burned me taters,
I don't know, that was actually
He's like a
one of
pawn
my-
shop guy is all he is.
and she
All right.
spilled coffee on his nuts. That's what burned me taters means.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I
That
mean,
checks
if you
out.
enjoy the Tomb Raider reboot and you wanted to see them
It
like basically
sets up
retell
the
that
world
story,
of Tomb Raider very well for future
I hope that they do it.
ones. I mean, it goes into Trinity quite a bit and sets up some future like evil heads of Trinity in a
Couldn't
creative
have
way.
been,
Okay.
Couldn't have been that big a budget, and I think
Oh, it made
honestly-
money.
Yeah, like I think honestly, the thing that a video game adaptation needs is it needs
to be fun.
to be fun, and I think it needs to have an established director that isn't somebody that you just kind of know at best. Like I don't know how they would get it, but like when Peter Jackson was talking about doing Halo, that made sense.
Yeah,
That was a big thing because
Uncharted, I could see also breaking through that maybe.
Uncharted could. Last of Us, I
Maybe.
think the
I
one
don't
that
think it's going
would
to
have
anymore.
the
I don't
most-
think they're going to have the support from their own people.
Well, no,
anymore.
that's what I'm saying. But
Neil
if they
Druckmann
actually
is
did
like, nope.
if they did a
Yeah.
legit Last of Us movie and put the budget behind it and the writing and everything else, like I think that one would have the best chance because it.
I'd love
could
to
be
see a
done
Dead Rising, like a really good Dead Rising,
Yeah,
just
like a
fun
funny
without
Shaun of
putting-
the Dead
Without
kind
putting
of.
over the top video game moments into it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like that's like an Uwe Boll type move.
Mm.
Rampage could end up being the most successful of them all. By the way,
It's correct because it has the rock in it.
yes,
Also,
franchise Viagra.
most people who are going to see that have no
Not
idea
knowing
that's
that
a
it's-
video game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because it
also
hasn't been a
Uwe
video
Boll
game
is
in
trying
how
to
long?
sue them, by the way.
64, I guess. Of course he is.
Yeah, he made a.
I think there was a
trilogy of
Rampage
movies.
64. The
I know-
original
I know
was
that for
on.
a fact there was a 60. I know there was original, but there is a Rampage 64.
There
I
is
just didn't know
definitely,
there
yeah.
had been anything since then.
I'm on it.
There was something on the PlayStation, I think.
Shut up, Josh.
Okay.
PlayStation was 64 era. Wasn't it the same game?
Well, maybe it was PS2. I can't remember.
Okay.
I looked into it.
Anyway.
But yeah, Uwe Boll apparently made a trilogy of movies called Rampage in the early 2000s that have absolutely nothing to
And
do
no,
with the game.
and no one ever cared.
Yeah, and he's
Except
like,
for
well, I'm
Uwe Boll.
gonna. He actually asked his fans,
'Cause he's
which
bankrupt.
there are none,
Yeah, that's
to
Uwe Boll.
sabotage theaters when Rampage comes out.
It's him outside going, no.
He's a fucking idiot and a
Yeah.
maniac.
that
He
dude's
threatens
the
to
worst.
beat up people all the time.
I know.
He thinks he's like a fucking black belt.
So Tomb Raider was good, though.
It was.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
It's a solid ass movie.
Rampage Total Destruction came out in 2006
Holy
by
shit.
Midway, GameCube, Wii, and PlayStation 2.
There you go. That's
When
what
you
you're
see
thinking
when
of.
you see the cover art, you'll be like, "Oh yeah."
The
enough.
last thing I ever
No one bought
played
that.
Rampage was 64, and it was okay at best.
I enjoy the original games.
The
Climbing
original
up-
was
That movie
fun.
looks fun.
Yeah, it does.
It does look fun.
I'm excited.
Let's talk about fun though, and let's talk about our last movie. Let's talk about Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man.
So
I've seen this movie 3 times.
I've seen it twice. So
I will have seen it twice.
we
this
were
weekend.
excited, and
I
then
might
this
go
movie
again this
felt like
weekend,
it was
too.
getting shit on a lot from fanboys after the first trailer dropped.
But the good news is,
Uh,
fanboy always knows a hater. So
it's true. And then a few critics started seeing it early, and to my surprise and happily, it started getting pretty good reviews. So I was interested. I was like, I don't know where this is going to land, but this movie's always sounded cool and looks really fun in the trailers to me.
The premise is awesome.
It blew away all expectations
it's
for me.
So
I will
it's
say,
the purest
sorry.
fun
It's the most fun. Is outside of comic book movies, I don't know if I've ever had more fun.
You guys like clearly hyped it up. Like when me and Chuck saw it for the first time.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Josh was going to see it for his third time, so clearly Josh was high on it.
I went pretty high.
But yeah, it exceeded expectations.
It's the
Way exceeded.
Yeah.
It's the first time in a long time we've done the whole, like, outside of a comic book movie, like, stand outside the theater and talk about the movie we just saw for 10 minutes or more. Like, it just hits a point for somebody who's none of us have read the book in any way.
I've read parts of the book.
Have you?
But,
Okay.
yeah.
And, like, it's easy for people to go in cynically just saying, well, they're just throwing a bunch of, like, flashy references on screen and not making them worthwhile or anything. But to me, the way the movie handles it is pitch perfect. Like, it literally is how that kind of a world would be populated. The reason the references are there is because you're giving everybody agency and choice to be whatever and whoever they wanted. And guess what? Look at any avatar on any social media site or anything else, like Xbox avatars and shit like that. Like, people choose pop culture things that they like. And if you have the ability to be anything you want, why wouldn't you be a Ninja Turtle? Why wouldn't you be a Jedi
Joker.
or anything else? Yeah, the Joker, exactly. Like, it works. And it kind of holds reverence for, it does hold reference for the things that it's referencing as well. There are so many just super cool ideas in that world.
I don't think this movie did anything wrong. It has some cheesy dialogue, but I think it works for the movie on what they were trying to create.
I can get behind that. Like, the dialogue is not great in some parts, but yes.
But I like it. It
there's
made me enjoy the movie more.
Yeah.
It is visually the best movie I've ever seen in my life. IMAX 3D.
It's spectacular.
I wish you could see it in IMAX 3D because for me, I've always been like the guy that doesn't hate 3D, but it's not something I prefer. I think 3D enhances this, but I think IMAX 3D enhanced it. Last night I left away like kind of groggy, like from seeing. I was like, oh, there is a big difference in IMAX 3D and real 3D.
In addition to, like, I've always had a trouble with regular real D, like 3D or whatever. Of like, I still get screen splitting. There's no way I can sit and look at the screen and not see doubling of some imagery.
But that was the best looking 3D I'd ever seen because
IMAX
it was filmed
3D
with 3D IMAX cameras for that, and I was like, holy balls, that was so good looking.
Having seen the movie in 2 separate 3D screenings within a few days, like, yeah, IMAX 3D is like crystal clear. It is the best 3D that you could do. Still not a fan of 3D in general. I'm still uncomfortable with glasses. I don't wear glasses, so that's part of it. But
I think it's more uncomfortable if you wear glasses.
But, like, I'm not used to having glasses on, is what I'm saying. Like, I barely wear sunglasses.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I can get behind the idea that, yeah, for the most part, there's not much that this movie does wrong. I adored it.
But you cannot have more fun in this movie. There is, from the race at the beginning, when I literally turned to Josh and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
I put it on my moment of the year list in the middle of watching it.
And then, and we're going full spoilers for Ready Player One here. Then the shining moment happened.
Man, I can't describe like the emotions I was feeling.
It's unbelievable.
Overwhelmingly just joyous, and I still can't explain
What
it.
is
It's
now
so
probably
awesome.
a top 25 movie for me. I'm that high on it. Featured another top 25 movie for me.
A good chunk too.
Like,
It wasn't like
faithful recreation of
Very
like,
faithful.
Yes.
God, and the fact that H didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Man, it was so good.
So then I was like, that was the
Hey
best
girls,
thing
you
ever.
guys know? Do you guys know where the exit is? Wait, where you go? What's happening?
You know what? I'm just gonna run with this.
yo, we ain't got no business being in Route 237.
And then the nerd porn of the battle happened at the end.
Dude.
He goes. He's got the boombox on it up, plays a different song than say anything, but
Right.
we're not going to take it. And then just all of these characters run, and you have this
Man.
badass battle. It's so amazing.
Gundam versus Mechagodzilla is one of the coolest fucking
I don't
things
even
I've
like
ever
Gundam.
seen.
When he says,
Yeah.
I choose form of Gundam, I was like, yeah, you do.
Got everything about the Iron Giant too. Just
Yeah,
gives me
man.
So
chill bumps.
awesome. And I have nowhere near the reverence for Iron Giant that you do.
Oh my
It's
god, I
so
love it so
awesome.
much. He's just kicking so much ass, and at the very end gives the T2 thumbs up.
God, it's so cool.
It's amazing.
And I mean, I think one of the things I actually appreciated most too is like I think Ty Sheridan did a great job in this.
He
movie.
was incredible.
like he
I
played,
love and hate him. He lives out my dream. This movie, and he's Cyclops.
but he plays like a dual role incredibly well. Like,
I
especially
like when
early,
it flashes back and forth between him, like
being in
actually acting, and from when he was doing voice acting, or when they're showing his avatar. I thought that was impressive.
Yeah.
He's like a Miles Teller for our generation.
He does look a lot like Miles Teller.
But if you look at like even like early in the movie when he is being confronted by his aunt's boyfriend or whatever, like
That's the worst.
how sheepish he is in the real world versus the confidence that he exudes
swagger.
as Parzival. Like I love that. I think
Olivia Cook was awesome.
Olivia Cook is fantastic
She is-
in this
And
movie.
also
speaking to the
always
effects
awesome.
again, before
Yeah,
I'd
that girl
forgotten
done
Olivia
grows
Cook
up.
was in it, and before, not just from her voice, the way her avatar featured her face, I was like, I think this is Olivia Cook.
I didn't recognize. I knew the voice, but then as soon as I saw the back of her head when he was walking, I was like, "Oh shit, that's Emma from Bates."
Yep.
I love how like her character, like she also kind of had like her character arc. In the end, she ended up having the birthmark on her eye.
Yeah,
while
she
in
accepted
the,
it, even in,
while
you
in
know,
Yeah.
that's
the
her true
Oasis.
face.
Ben Mendelsohn was good.
He's always good.
Yeah, he
Mark
is.
Rylance was amazing.
He's always amazing.
It's just, I mean,
T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller was perfect.
Just the right amount of T.J. Miller. He was great in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
He was. It's a dick. That's a camper move. You don't even know how to activate an orb.
Because I rock.
Like, I mean, yeah. I just every time I think about this movie, I just smile. Like, it's just so much
Yeah.
fun. I literally can't wait to watch it. Like again.
It's straight up nerd porn.
I would not be shocked if this is our #1 movie at the end of the year.
I would not be shocked
Like,
either.
I really would.
There's one other movie
This-
that I think
yeah.
has a chance.
Avengers has a
is
legit
easily-
shot at
yeah.
that. And there will be one movie we don't know about right now or aren't thinking about being that high
Sure.
that will surprise us.
I mean, Aquaman's probably going to be in my top 3. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
I mean, I have no
Usually
idea
the
what that movie's
feel-good
gonna be.
movies of the year come towards the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is feel good as fuck though.
Yeah, it is.
There will be no more feel good than this.
That's
Avengers
fair.
does not end on a high note. Spoilers. I'm telling you
Yeah.
that right now.
I think there might be some moments in Avengers that rival the moments in Ready Player One in terms of like just set pieces, but
Yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be... That battle in Wakanda is going to be fucking amazing. It's just straight up going to be.
God, I can't wait for the fucking movie.
You have 3 weeks.
Oh,
It's getting real close. But yeah, like I mean, I saw it on my own just because like I had the time and I was working the next day or whatever, and I was like, I really don't know if I'm gonna want to go pay for the movie first of all, and I just kind of want to see it at 10 o'clock at night after I get off work. And I was off the next morning, so I was okay going to a late movie. And then I saw it and I was like, shit, I really liked that. I want to see
That movie's so much better with
people.
friends, man.
Yeah, and then I saw it with
Yeah.
Evan, and Evan at every point that I did in the night before turned to me and was like, this is the greatest. And I'm like, fucking right?
The validation of your friends liking this as much as you is the best.
I'm
like
telling
hearing
you.
how happy Chuck was last
He
night.
said, this is
And being able to
incredible.
talk to you like the whole
50
time. And I was like,
times.
all right, Trey's also into this. I'm like, sweet,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
That
I was almost
black
out of my
lady who
seat,
Loved
dude.
it.
I will hire her.
She was
amazing.
awesome.
She
Man.
slow clapped at one point.
Yep.
God, was the best.
she was pretty great. I still
Man,
say,
when he dressed up like Prince, she was like, "Ooh!"
yeah, she was.
And she did the same thing with Thriller as well.
So
Like,
the
it was just
the Shining part probably a little scary for younger kids. I think we were
Yeah,
because we were warning you
Especially
with Lane.
the zombie bath lady.
You're also
Yeah.
you're a little more lenient with Lane than like I personally would be when that, and that's
yeah.
fine. That's
I'm,
a parent's
I'm
choice.
very lenient with
Yeah,
Lane.
you
Like,
let
let's
your
just
kid
get
play
that out
Gears
in
of
the open.
War, and I would
Yeah.
not do that.
Yeah, no, it's
represented
whatever
in
for
this
me.
movie.
But
Yes,
it
it is.
is.
Full answer.
A couple of times it turns out. But anyways, I would definitely make sure that I like rented this and we watched it in like the middle of the day,
Right.
Because I do think he would be initially a little freaked out, especially and probably more so in the theater. Like if we watch this at the house,
The like decaying
lights
half
on,
naked
all that.
lady like stabbing is easily like the most
Yes.
scary part.
Yeah, I mean the maze stuff is whatever. I mean they do
if
some
you watch
good
that at
stuff
like
with
10
the
o'clock at
visuals
night,
in it.
I would be. up
Oh,
all
that
night,
was
but-
incredible.
Yeah, but like I don't think that would be necessarily as.
I didn't know how
scary
much you cared about the
as-
very close to nudity of when it was clearly like a hot model they'd hired to be very close to nude right before it turns into.
Well, I mean, the lady, you see her boobs a couple of times.
do you? I miss.
Well, you don't.
You don't actually see
You
the-
seen
all.
it? Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
like
you
a little
do.
bit of side boob, but
I mean, you see
nips.
you see nip, but it's like shadow nip for sure.
Okay,
And I was
yeah, I
looking.
did too.
okay.
I can
was-
sense those things.
Okay.
Because I
fellas.
mean it's PG-13, so I mean I don't know. What
I didn't know if
can
they
and
could
can't
show.
So?
Yeah.
So
It's not the
Like,
80s.
yeah,
You
like-
can't
Fuck
show
you,
boobs in a
ratings.
PG
Yeah.
movie.
Like,
Scrooged.
none of this is like stuff that I'm like clearly gonna be like.
You can
I gotta
barely
make
even
sure
see them
Lane sees
nips.
as much like half naked ladies as possible, but
Right. I didn't know how
I'm also-
big of a like. And that's for people watching and listening too.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is some. It's very much
They drop
PG,
one F-bomb.
One F bomb. They do the classic PG-13.
Yeah.
Fox Marvel PG-13
Yeah.
stuff. which completely unnecessary, but fine. It's whatever. It's
It was also
it's
the
really
language
funny.
is 100%
It's
something
hilarious.
I don't care about with Lane. Like, obviously, I don't think I'd take him for many reasons, but for the language, like a Tarantino film is not something I'd be okay with
I
Lane.
knew you were going Tarantino
Hearing-
there.
Like,
That's what you go to.
even if like everything else in a Tarantino movie is okay, the language is too much. But I don't care about one F-bomb.
I figured. Steelbook. Side conversation. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Batman Ninja.
Steelbook.
Hell
Front-
yeah.
Front
Gotcha.
conversation.
He was buying something from Best Buy, and it's the only thing I can think of.
That's fair.
But like, yeah, like so going into this movie, I thought I was gonna have fun with it. I was looking forward to it, but like,
It exceeds all expectations.
and walking out, like, I pray they do a sequel for this.
Oh, me too. All I
Like-
want is more stuff in the
Yeah.
world of the Oasis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they leave it open for that.
I
Like,
like the Tuesdays and Thursdays off at the end.
yeah, the tease of like of Mark Rolance's character. He's like, "You're not an avatar, are you?" He's like, "Are you really dead?" Yes. I think that's like he
Consciousness
downloaded his
into
consciousness
the cloud or
into the
whatever.
thing, but it's
I
the
can
only
see
thing
that.
I could even
the
think
AI
of.
that runs the entire Oasis.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of like cool stuff you could do with that, like he's in trouble or something like that. But yeah,
I like
there's
the
just a
stylized like look of the Oasis.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
It
so
was
cool.
very, very like all the textures and stuff were incredibly
It was unique.
well done. But yeah, like clearly they're like cartoonish characters in there.
Every time I see it, I so badly want to go to that crazy like gravityless golf course that dude hits that ball at the beginning.
I want to go dance at the gravityless
That's
dance.
cool.
floor.
Yeah.
God, the
That
dance
scene
scene.
was so cool.
Dance scene is so cool when he goes into the disco.
Yeah.
God,
Also, he's
so
got the
good.
microfiber crotch inlay.
He does.
I love that scene. That's so good. Oh,
pretty
you
great.
did come prepared. And then Ben Wilson gets kicked later on. It's great.
Yeah, and, like, I mean, I like that. Yeah, like it's like genuine flirting as well. But like, I think the characters, like people, like, the main criticism I've seen, and there's a lot of like I've listened to a couple podcasts where people do really like it, and a couple podcasts people really hate it.
Fuck those. You should drop that podcast.
Some of the people,
I've
I'm
only
kinda
heard one
funny,
podcast to listen to it, and they
Of
were
course they do. I don't like those guys anymore.
Tim Geddes is one of them,
Shocker.
and Jared Petty is the other.
Petty is right.
But anyway, like they keep talking about like paper thin characters and people that you don't care about or anything. Like I don't get it. Like I really don't.
yeah.
I thought there was depth to Wade's character. I thought that the motivation behind Olivia Cook's character, like I liked it all. Like I really
Yeah.
did.
Also, this isn't The Post.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a certain thing you're going for here.
Yeah.
I don't get. That's a stupid criticism from anyone. If you're
Like,
watching, that's
They were like
stupid.
the love story
Yeah.
feels forced
The
and shit. Like I don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah, the only thing I've heard from the one podcast I listened to, which no one hated it. There were definitely some people higher than others, or whatever. But
I mean,
it was
that's
just
fine.
a little
but
bit of a lack of a villain. But to me, like clearly, Ben Mendelsohn is like
Lack of a villain.
that.
that's a
That doesn't
that's a
make sense.
stupid argument.
That one straight up makes no sense. I could see somebody feeling like the characters are thin. There's a very clear villain.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
It's those people.
The
those
corporation
critics. They're
who
the
blew
villains.
up somebody's
Yeah.
home and murdered people. That's the villain.
Turns out. I mean,
I don't disagree with
he
you.
had
Dad.
kind of a glimmer of redeeming, and
mean,
then it
if-
went away
At the
for a
very
minute,
end,
yeah.
when he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he cried a little bit. I'm gonna smile, and then I'm gonna immediately get arrested for murder."
If only
That's
Star
one of
Wars
my
had a
singular-
main
singular
villain,
complaint
that
with
would
that
be,
movie.
man.
I wish Silence of the Lambs would get a fucking villain.
I know, right? Dark Knight. God, it needed a villain. Idiots. That's what that
What-
sentence was.
One the like only Twitter review I read of somebody who hated it at South by when it premiered was like, I hate seeing Spielberg treat his own legacy with such like carelessness. Like, fuck off. First of all, there's almost no Spielberg in this movie. Second of all, you're dumb. Like it has
that's a weird
reverence for the
statement.
stuff it's referencing.
I think Spielberg's one of the few people that could have pulled this movie together.
Agreed.
I almost can't think of anybody else. Like maybe
Oh.
JJ because he's kind of Spielberg too.
I guess me.
Also, maybe Peter
really?
Jackson.
Zemeckis.
I could see Peter Jackson doing it.
Would have been a different feel, I think. But
I just think
And
like
about another half hour
you have
longer.
to get somebody who's steeped in the '80s culture. For as much as this movie is, like Peter Jackson, I think he could handle the visual side of it. But like,
And
to
Ratu.
that's
John
fair.
Hughes.
yeah, like in all honesty, like I could see it. I don't know how the action would be, but sure.
Yeah, he would be there for the
A
dialogue.
John
Yeah.
Hughes, Peter Jackson team up.
I would watch the absolute fuck out of that.
Correct.
Like
I'd be in.
the most.
Whether it's Ready Player One or any other movie.
Spielberg or Zemeckis for sure. Like
It could be a Babysitter's
Early
Club
Lucas?
adaptation, and I would watch the fuck out of that.
Yeah,
Either way, I
Babysitter's
would
Club.
watch the fuck out of that.
You know it.
And I know that you guys aren't high on him right now. I could see Edgar Wright pulling it off, even though he doesn't scream 80s to me.
I have nothing. No, he made a movie I don't love. I mean, I love Edgar
Literally,
Wright.
yeah, just the one.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Edgar
like,
Wright is great
Yeah.
to me.
I could see him like if I knew for sure, like if he had made Ant-Man and he had sold me on like the high octane action of it, I could absolutely see him doing that,
Da-da-da.
as
What's up?
advertised.
No. You say it right.
Chuck.
That's a good way to end it there.
Indeed.
A good time for TV and movies.
Yeah.
A lot. We had a lot, so it's 2 a.m. actually
There's
this
so
time.
much.
Yes.
It's so fucking late.
Man,
But
that sucks.
yeah. But
Well, at least
next
it's
time,
not storming
we got a
outside.
lot coming up next time, but we'll get that kind of. We're back on our regular schedule. Finally, the awards are done and all that stuff. So we'll hopefully be a little less chaotic on that, and we'll see you next week for games. And well, we won't see you guys for Geek to Geek, but we'll be filming it inside
Indeed.
baseball. So
Speaking of baseball,
Nope,
I've got some
cut it.
great